I get my stream live.
This is actually a continuation of our campaign. It is, I hope, the start of the next arc.
Everyone laugh with me.
We've been at the end of this arc for months.
I don't even know if this was supposed to be an arc.
I don't know.
We're supposed to kind of just like get here and leave, but
All I
we've
gotta
been
say
here
is
for a
this
while.
group does what they want, and you guys make things arcs, even when they're not supposed to. So,
I think
congratulations.
this was supposed to be like a 1 or 2 session thing. It turned into...
No, of course not.
It's turned into 6.
Who would have seen that the goblin of the group would have got a boat?
It was all part of the plan.
Some asshole threw a wrench into
now.
the plan.
Beautiful.
You still have a boat.
Well, if we are ready to get started, hello everybody. I am your host and DM for the session, Dungeon Master for the session. My name is Wolfgang, or Caleb. I am part of the Round Stump gaming group. I lead this campaign and many others, mini games and future campaigns, and help the community out with that. So if you're ever interested, just let me know, and we can always find a place for you and get you started and find you some game time. I have some awesome support from everybody here is a veteran player of Round Stump. So we have some awesome support. We have 2 excellent streamers, dedicated streamers, I would say to that, escaping storm, level streamers, just to bring you this content live. So just make sure you pay your dues to them, because fighting for our lives here. So we will go over a quick introduction to everybody, and then we'll go into a brief recap of what happened last time. As usual, we will have Karn start us off. Cards, will you please give a little recap about yourself?
Hello, I am Karns in the Discord, Lord Kira of everywhere else. I'm one of the streamers here. I don't know if I would have gone through a couple hurricanes to get everything set up, because my setup's kind of like static, but I played Bashir in this campaign. The little elderly kobold. Technically he's elderly, based on their lifespan, so yeah. But I shoot things from far away and hardly ever get hurt.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Karns. Next up, we have Rubik.
That's me. I am Rubik, Battleforge, a dwarf, paladin, barbarian, wizard extraordinaire. I do it all: magic, killing, slaying, healing, adventure, and that's pretty much it. It covers most of the stuff I do. But yeah, I don't have any special things I do in real life like the rest of them. But I'm Rubik here.
Thank you very much, Rubik. That was a great introduction. That was a slam introduction right there. We'll just say that. So next we have Jay. Welcome back from your vacation, Jay. How was it?
It was very nice and relaxing.
You want to tell us and the listeners a little bit about where you were?
I was on the beach. It was
He was on the
warm,
beach.
and it was
Warm.
wonderful.
It was wonderful. Well, thank
Did
you
a
for
lot
that,
of
Jay.
reading. Bro. Yeah. So.
Your character.
So I'm Jay. I play Scritch, a goblin cleric, devout follower of Skirt, and captain of our fine vessel that we have yet to sail. Thwarter of DM plans. Yeah, I think that's about it.
I wouldn't say thwarter as much as just a little guiding star, giving me a new direction.
the wrench thrower.
Hey, you're just making me work harder, so I'm like getting buff over here.
Giving you that experience, that
Yeah,
DM
exactly.
level up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that, Scritch of Skirt, I should say. Sorry, it's a lot of S's.
Oh no. Has he been promoted to an actual demigod god?
Yeah, he's been promoted.
He has become one.
Little Halo.
He's a saint. Saint Scritch of Skirt.
Yeah, it's a little crooked Halo. But thank you for that, Jay. Next up, we have Kuuretsu.
Hi, I'm the one who's fleeing from a storm. I am Kuuretsu, and I stream. I'm the other streamer that currently has a really janky setup. For some reason, internet doesn't want to load things that it load. Anyway, I play Rask. I play the lizard folk fighter cleric mix that, for some reason, makes friends really easily. And painted half the ship red. I guess that's me.
That's
He looks
Raz.
really weird. Oh, I guess I don't have the token up on here. I can put that on there.
Also, she's too modest, but Kuuretsu made all of our tokens
Yes.
that are
Yes.
awesome, and
Yeah.
you can find them in her stream or in her Discord and also the Round Stump Discord, and they're pretty damn great.
Yeah.
Also,
Well-
help me make the ship as well. Help me with all the ship making as well with the main ship of the Silver Lantern, aka whatever Scritch decides to name it next.
Yeah, I've got all of the
world
character
may never
images
know.
going through my pre-stream, so anybody who was watching that saw all of them, and I've got Bashir right above my head.
Well, thank you for that, Kuuretsu, aka Rask, the boat painter. Next we have Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Eric, and I play Jack. He's a like 7 foot tall warforged that usually carries Scritch on his shoulder. Also a devout follower of Skirt, and that's about it. That's all I can think of.
He likes Pegasi.
Pegasus.
Yeah, those are his favorite thing. They tickle his fancy.
Android
I do.
Brony.
He's become a very
my secret.
he's become very fashionable with hats as well, but not
Oh,
as
yeah.
not as much as Skirt's or Scritch's hat.
It's an integral part of your character.
That Phoenix, aka Eric. We got last but not least Runark, Ivan.
Hello, I am Runark. I play Ivan Lionheart. I am a human alchemist artificer. I like to concoct elemental bombs and alchemical contraptions and thwart my enemies. What else? I just pissed off my cousin who wanted me to join him. I kind of feel like he was threatening me. He told me my sister is now missing, which made me think the way he said it made me think it was him that did it. But probably wasn't. But we'll see how that goes.
Right? What a twist before you leave, of course. So thank you guys for that. Now we will actually go to the recap of what happened last time. Now that the fighting's pretty much over, there was some actually decent roleplay and some interesting things that happened last time. So we'll actually do a flat roll and see who gets it. So if everybody could roll me a d20, no adding anything.
Oh, Scritch!
I'm so mad I rolled for this just for shits and giggles.
Next highest is Okay.
Ooh, Rubik laid it, but Scritch got a natural 20, of course.
Oh, because Rubik rolled a D8 at first.
Okay, hold
Look,
on.
bro.
Who you can hear the papers rustling. Rubik's getting ready. He's opening up his giant dwarven tome.
My notes, session 68, experience.
Big smiley face. Rubik's like level 12. Here we come.
Yeah.
Yep, I was.
Yep,
I think last session I was on the floor, so
Yes.
notes were not happening, and I'm gonna forgo because that's not fair. So whoever's next,
Next up would be.
Ivan and Bashir, fight to the death.
Yep. We'll just have you guys re-roll, and if it's another tie, then we'll have you fight to the death.
Please, death fight. 16.
Death
Death
fight.
fight.
Come on.
Well, oh, you
Wow.
bastard.
Wow, natural
Bastard.
20.
Go to
Bashir,
death another day.
for some reason, the recap loves you and wants you to go over it again. So please, if you don't mind, unless you want to forego it, I'm not sure how you feel.
I actually took notes for once. I took somewhat decent notes, even though they're written in a half-drunken writing.
All right, that's probably why. They're probably really good. So let's hear 'em.
I was more diligent when I was drunk than I normally am. That's weird.
Oh, yes. I also have here. He apologized often for drinking.
Yeah, I do that a lot when I drink.
Yeah,
Just
you
harassing.
apologized a lot. Aggressively so.
I get like way over self-conscious when I drink for some reason.
Karn's got white girl drunk. Let's just leave it at that, okay, guys?
Hey, you're not wrong based off of what I was drinking either.
It was adorable.
All
I
right.
apologize.
This is what I have for notes, and I'm sure I'll remember other stuff too. Ivan found a chest in the a chest full of silver in the inn. I think Jack actually picked up that, if I'm not mistaken, and all the other stuff in there.
Correct.
As Rubik walked around town, he kept having the townspeople give him stuff like wool blankets, wheel of cheese, halfling idol, chocolate, and when Rask exited the inn and said everybody's dead, the people applauded like it was like a major, I don't know. These notes are weird.
They just won the Super Bowl.
The new leader of the Wardens thanked Rubik and said he could consider us in debt. He gave Rubik a amulet, like the Warden's amulet, I think, and said they would grant us. The other Wardens would grant us guidance if he had it.
Correct.
Lord Edmund of Warheim, second in line of the throne. I don't know why I took so many notes on your cousin Ivan.
Really liked his cousin, apparently. I'll go with you. You just like.
He brought a bunch of money to help build defenses, and yeah, he was offered a lot of cool, in quotes, offered Ivan a lot of cool shit to come with him, to follow him and learn about like alchemy stuff and help out the family, yada yada. And I have written here, he sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Ivan doesn't actually want to go. Oh wow, these notes are all over the fucking place. Rask brought the boars back from the tavern, and brought them on board. Bashir talked to them using his Speak with Animals spell that he does, and made sure that they were happy where they are, and they were just basically like, if you feed us and protect us, we're good. So, Bashir was also going to take their stuff down, and he's going to convert one of the things on the. He's going to convert one of the saddles. Sorry, wow. He's going to convert one of the saddles for the boars so that Bashir can ride on that. Bashir also changed his ghillie suit up, so now he looks like a bunch of boat detritus, like a bunch of rope crap with like a bucket, so that he can still be camouflaged while on the boat. Bashir got the when Scritch came back, the prisoner was still in his office, and so he didn't like that. So Bashir offered to move the prisoner, and in the middle of doing so, he basically forced the prisoner into agreeing to kind of spy on Dev before putting him in the same cell as Dev. And then we went into, and this is the only note I have at the last bit of it. Caroline, the Triton, is cooking for us as we sat down after a bunch of people slept. And that's all of my notes. I'm sorry. It's better than what I usually have. I'm usually just going straight off of my top of my head.
Anything else?
Can't believe you forgot they gave Rubik a wool blanket.
I said that.
Oh,
He did, yeah.
Rubik
cow.
didn't shower or bathe either.
Right.
He's still covered in dried blood.
Yep.
Get the flakes off.
Count really creepily said something to
Yes.
as he
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to sleep.
Yep. Do you remember?
Something about singing songs or whatever. Tales. I don't remember. I put it in after the fact because I remembered it at the last minute.
Yeah, he really looks up to you.
I don't know.
Not literally and figuratively.
Mm-hmm. Also, we all realized that we didn't know where the hell we were going. Something about going north and across the sea, and that's the only directions that we have.
Right.
Yep. It's great. I don't think can edit.
Destiny will guide us.
I'm trying to figure out why the music isn't picking up from Roll20.
What's up?
The music isn't picking up.
I don't hear any music.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, here we go. We'll play the theme song for Rubik because I know this makes him really happy.
Oh, I was gonna go get a beer, but I'll wait.
But I'll wait.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. That's pretty much all my notes, I think.
Super quiet.
Some of these lines that I wrote when I was gone last time are just way too funny.
Let's go all the way around.
Alright. Alright, put that next. Good.
Yeah, it was quiet. I heard it. I'm happy.
Came up through me.
I'm gonna go to the fridge.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what order my input outputs were on.
Oof.
Play music. Oh, there it goes. Cool. Someone say something in Discord.
Potato.
Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
That too.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Unique New York.
often-
Unique New York.
What is it? It often rains on the plains of Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
There we go. I'd never actually seen Anchorman.
It's alright. I don't remember where I got that from, but so I couldn't honestly tell you, but I know it's from a movie or a show or something. I know TV taught me.
TV is the best teacher.
I mean, yeah, Bob Ross been like Hulk Hogan were like fathers via television to me. So
It hurts.
Ash Ketchum was like my father.
He's 12.
He's old enough.
He gets around.
You had to catch them all.
literally, he's like 16 years old. The mom's like, "Get the hell out of here! Go get your animal and get out there."
He's 12.
Yeah.
He's-
Here's a rat that makes electricity. Go into the wild and
back to your
defeat
man.
the other creatures.
That wasn't even his mom. His mom was like leave, and then this old dude that he just met's like, oh, here, have a lightning rat, have fun.
The picture I posted a couple days
Professor
ago.
Oak also doesn't know when gender most people
Yeah,
are.
thanks to Jay. Jay portrayed that very well.
Here's a rat. Don't come back until you've traveled around the world.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
All right.
Oh.
Well, let's get started since we are. I guess since it kind of fell down the line a little bit here. Bashir, you ended up with the initiative, so we'll start off with you. You were last off eating with the rest of your comrades, or waiting for food, breakfast to be in fact, and you guys waited. You guys were waiting for the next day to actually sail that morning, but you've got attacked and waited a whole nother day. So now it's the next morning. You are all rested. There's no fatigue. There's no discomfort. Just a couple bruises and some scrapes here and there, and nothing too bad. But most of you are awake and getting food. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Bashir, you are sitting with your comrades waiting for the food to be delivered. And as it's being brought to you guys, it smells delicious. It's just pancakes, bacon, sausage, and some delicious hearty breakfast foods, at least for the start, since they have some supplies. You even see some eggs in there, a lot of potatoes. You guys are eating pretty well for what she's come up with. So, if you would like to start off, what would you like to do? You can go first, Bashir.
Did we have a chance to go get the stuff that we were gonna buy, or are we doing that off screen?
Yeah, you already have that.
Alright, we already have all that stuff? Okay.
Yep.
Alright, I guess Bashir would just look at all the food that's placed in front of him and just have like a weird look at him. Bashir does not understand why it is all separate. If you were eating it all one night in one meal.
You don't want to mix your flavors up. That tastes way different than that. You mix it together. I don't think it's really going to taste very good.
Can you not taste separate things in a meal?
Well, I mean, if you mix it all together, it just creates a different flavor. That's not really something that I look for, but if that's what you want, go ahead and eat it like that. And I'm just gonna take a piece from this little pile and take another piece from this little pile, and
yeah, Bashir just started mashing all his stuff together and putting it in a cup.
Nab notices what you're doing, Bashir, and is going to do the same, or AKA count.
Okay. He's also looking through the eggs, wondering where are the eggshells. But yeah. I guess once he's eaten a little bit, Bashir would just look around. What is the plan? Bashir knows we are all stocked up for the trip, but do we know where we are going?
I'd like to leave as soon as we can. I mean, we wanted to leave yesterday morning, but we kind of were stalled. But I mean, as long as we're good to go, and I'll kind of look around, mostly to Rubik, because he's the one who's just yep, let's get going.
Well, where's... I'd count everybody. Are they all here?
Rask isn't here. Rask went to get the rest of the people.
Yeah, Rask is not back yet.
Godzilla's missing.
And we don't have Scritch, at least with us currently.
He'll figure out how to get
Scritch is still in his room.
This empty room.
I mean, he hasn't gone to Wander already.
Not that I know of.
Jack, I thought you were guarding him.
Jack's gonna get up from the table and run back to Scritch's room.
Make him some food! And
He'll grab a plate on his way. If it has food on it, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
the plate.
Scritch might eat a plate.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so once Rask gets back, I think we're ready to go. Quartermaster, if the holds are good, tip-top, ready for action.
We are supplied for the trip from what I can find. There is not much more we can add on without causing the ship to be slower. We do need a destination with which to give our navigator. It's as he just sort of sighs the word navigator out, thinking of Dev.
I know. I wish we could have a better option, but I mean, it's better than nothing, I think. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm trying to be optimistic here.
It'll be great. I can't wait to be on the ocean where there's no land for miles.
In the water bandits to attack us.
Speaking of which, I actually got to test before we leave, and I'll kind of I'll finish up my food and I'll stand up and say I need to go swimming real quick. And I'm just gonna kind of walk on deck.
It looks like
As you're about to leave, you see Rask opens the door, and Rask, you're being followed by a few members. Some of the other members are still doing things, are still sleeping, or just getting done with their shift. So it seems like you've gathered just who's left on kind of break or ready to eat.
Oh, good morning, Raska. How are you?
Well, you saw me earlier, actually. Reminder.
Yes.
Oh, that is true.
I was messing with the windows.
That is true.
Rask is actually walking beside Tink and like nagging her about yesterday.
Okay.
And not just telling her not to do that again. I'm sorry. You should have let Red Dragon? Red Dragon brought his name. Red Dragon handle that water bandit.
As you say that, he's just a couple feet behind Tink, and he chimes in. He says, "Yes, the Red Dragon agrees with this." As he's kind of waving his finger, and the large orc behind him just kind of laughs. "If the girl wishes to fight, let her fight and prove herself. Women who are weak." And he just kind of thinks about it, and it just disgusts him.
Rask
They often die in
turns
trial.
around and like glares at him.
He glares at you, and when the door opens, he actually can see the shiny reflection off of the window here, and see Jack on the other side of it, and he just kind of looks down.
Does Rask realize why or anything? Because he was there when Jack beat him, but
Yes. Yeah, you could see that he definitely is more submissive when Jack's around. He notices that Jack is the head enforcer on the ship, at least from that standpoint, since that's what he thought when he got on the ship. Who knows? Like, obviously, who knows really who the head enforcer would be, the officer of that. But
Probably
I'm sorry.
again, just an officer. Since it's an officer's title, I just want to make sure. It's not stated. The captain hasn't declared that yet. It's technically only the quartermaster, and you guys have a half navigator, but that's just the DM talking. Anyways,
okay.
Rask.
But Rask is gonna actually walk back at the orc, and I think he's the same height as him, right?
Yes.
A little bit taller.
You actually see there's the halfling in between. As you're coming past Tink to walk towards the orc, the halfling Isilda is just going to kind of like sneak past you in between your legs and start walking in and grabbing breakfast, as she's not very confrontational and doesn't want to be a part of that.
That's fair.
But you see the one-armed Kenku that you guys have recruited, Beekman, and he pulls the bard. He pulls out a tambourine and he shakes it and he says, it looks like we're going to have a fight. Yes, yes, yes. Fight, yes. And the orc smiles. And he says, as long as that metal fellow ain't out here, I'll fight you. And he kind of growls at you, Rask. And Beekman bows to you, Rask, and he's going to head inside very quickly. Food! As he runs inside.
Lenny in here. How are you today?
Good. Balthazar is going to kind of step in between you and the orc. Now, friends, let's not fight. We haven't even left port yet. He smiles. By the way, I don't know if we've actually met properly. I am Balthazar, and he's going to bow to you, Rask. Red Wizard of the Bone Collectors.
Rask inclines his head, and but he still has his eye on the orc. Rask, son of the giant, the frost giant.
Giants? You'll have to tell me more.
Later.
How about now, over food? And he kind of is trying to distract you from this this big brutish orc that he's never met either. The orc can join us too. Obviously, he seems very grumpy and needs some food in his belly. As he pats the orc's belly, the orc looks at him now and kind of growls, and Balthazar steps back. Just a joke, friend. Tink kind of yells, and she says, "Don't worry, I'll prove myself if I want to, orc." And she looks over at you, Rask, and I'm trying to prove myself, and I don't need him to help me or you to help me. And you see that she actually starts tearing up. I'm not hungry, and she's going to run off.
Tink.
Now, let her cool off. She's obviously very hot-headed. We've traveled for a month or so together, so I would know. Balthazar kind of like he kind of remarks on the time that he spent with her. Obviously she's growing, so she's got some stuff she's going through. So he's not used to that being with a teenager in the sense of things. So he just looks to you, Ras. He says, "And you know her from?" Obviously, you have a history.
The Ember Forest.
So you are the bone collectors from the Ember Forest. I wanted to make sure that you were there as well. I heard that there were some that they saved and joined them in the battle. Was one of them you?
Ras kind of tilts his head. What size was the one saved?
I believe. I don't remember. I just heard that there were some people saved from the dungeon that was there. I know one of them was the little fellow, the kobold.
That would be Bashir.
Okay. Well,
the Knoll NPC guy.
Yep.
Rask is like trying to remember NPC guy and Dev. Rask is from before.
So that's where you've met Dev before. I was always going to get around to asking that question, just haven't had the time or the energy. As he looks at you as well, that you've gotten some better rest. Well, let's go get some food. I'm sure Master Rubik wishes to speak of some matters, and we'll probably set sail soon. I'm hoping.
Rask grumbles quietly, and then he like visibly wilts as he looks back at the way that Tink went. And he looks kind of sad, and then he just kind of lowers his head and keeps walking.
The orc sees you do that, and he says, "Do not worry, young girl. She will prove herself."
Tink will, but and Ras just kind of trails off and walks in.
All right. So you see that a bunch of people come in and they sit down at the other end of the ship, or other side of the ship, I should say, and they start eating as well. There's a large stack of food in front of you guys, so everyone's eating up. Rubik, you see almost everyone's there, but Scritch.
Well, if Jack can't find him, maybe we just leave without him.
Jack, you hear that? What would you like to? Do you want to say anything, or do you want to tell
Oh,
Rubik?
I thought I already left.
Yeah.
Oh, did you go? Okay.
Yeah, I grabbed a plate and left.
Okay.
Because someone said I should be protecting his room, and he's
Okay.
kind of like, oh shit.
All right. Well, then we'll dash up there to you and Scritch. You guys are in. You walk up top of deck. You notice it's actually kind of stormy, but there's no rain or anything in sight yet. It's actually pretty windy too. It's still very pretty out though, and you still have quite a crowd actually on the docks looking at the ship, and you see quite a few fishermen are watching you guys, and some people out there are still holding gifts and candles and hoping you guys will come back to the land so they can help or thank you for what you've done. Even some wardens are there to actually keep them from too many people going on the docks and making them collapse because they just can't support that much weight. So your fans are out there. You can see as you're walking up on deck. The only thing that you actually notice up there is Elwyn is standing over the captain's quarters. You see the 2 boars laying down in the middle, and you see Vree is way at the front of the ship. You can see she's just sitting on the edge of the stairs, and she looks down at the other end where you are, and she kind of waves to you.
I'll just wave back and then walk into the captain's quarter. Give like a little head nod to Elwyn.
Okay. When you do, Elwyn's going to slowly kind of walk towards the railing, and in broken common, he says, "Win, leave."
I don't really know Elwyn that good, right? That well.
Not that well. You joined the Bone Collectors after the Ember Citadel, which Elwyn helped them during that arc. So you don't really know him at all.
Okay.
You just know that he is an ally.
Leave soon.
He nods to you, and he looks down at the room where Scritch is, and then looks back at you and gives you like kind of like a weird stiff thumbs up because he's still learning that from Tink.
Good. And I'll give him a thumbs up and then walk in.
All right. So you walk into Scritch's room, the empty room still, and you see Scritch is in the far corner near the stained glass window, and he is sleeping. He's snoring. He's got a little snore going on. He's twitching his leg. You can see he's dreaming about something. Probably skirt, of course.
Yeah, skirt. I'll just walk over there and like nudge him with my foot.
All right, it's just as you watch him a little bit, you walk over and kind of nudge him, and
Wake up, Captain.
Scritch, you awaken to Jack's voice.
Scritch wasn't sleeping. Yeah.
And he's gonna like roll back over and like try to sleep some more.
Poke him again with my foot. Captain, wind is good. We should leave.
Now? Scritch thinks now.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Captain Scritch says we'll leave now.
I brought you this, and I'll hand out the plate.
Scritch is just gonna like grab it and wide-eyed just start like annihilating all the food on the plate.
Thanks, Jack.
We should go downstairs to the others.
As you guys are speaking, you eventually hear a knock on the door, a very light knock, just a...
Come in.
As the door opens up, you see Marco appears. He's going to walk over and he's going to bow to you. Good morning, Captain Scritch. First mate Jack, he's going to bow to you.
I'll bow and quietly under my breath say, Polo.
What did you say under your breath?
Polo.
He smiles and says, I've just received word that the furniture for your captain's quarters will be arriving in within the hour. They're bringing a full stock of furniture upon with a wagon, and they have a crew of 4 men to load it upon your ship here. You just point where you'd like it loaded, and they will put it there for you.
All right. Scritch is gonna whip his head at Jack.
We'll leave after we get the furniture. Captain Scritch's word is final.
Of course, Captain Scritch. I will await them on the deck and make sure that they arrive swiftly and take care of everything for you as soon as possible. I will come get you when they do come, though, my lord. Please help yourself down below deck to some delicious breakfast.
Yeah, Scritch is hungry.
Scritch is gonna like hide his plate behind his back.
I believe our Triton or Sea Thief or whatever she may be, I'm not sure, or Sea Alpha, I don't remember what she is, but I believe she's a good cook.
Marco, we were so close to leaving. We were so
friend?
close.
What do you mean, friend? What, you want to leave right now?
I wanted to, but
Well, you did not discuss this with me, my friend. I've been busy doing other things, making sure the
I
ship
haven't seen you in hours.
is agreed, friend. Why are we so harsh towards each other? Let's be friendly. He smiles at you. Ah, your reflection. I look very handsome this morning. And he fixes his hair a little bit, and he looks back up at you. Now, Jack, all I'm trying to do is help Captain Scritch. He said he needed furniture. Look at the poor lad. The captain needs furniture. How could you say no to that face? As he looks down at Scritch.
Scritch is gonna give him the biggest, like, puppy dog eyes.
Easy. No.
Oh,
No, come on now. You can't just say no like that, Jack. You don't mean that.
Scritch is gonna like.
I do mean that.
Come
Scritch
on,
is
now
gonna
you.
pitch a finger, so he starts crying a little bit.
please, Jack.
Oh, Jesus.
As first mate, it is your responsibility to make sure that the captain's needs are taken care of.
Is there any way we can get this furniture faster?
If you and I go to the furniture store together, friend, and he
Oh,
smiled.
God.
Come on now, we don't spend much time together. As you just said, it's been hours since we've seen each other, and I feel like we've barely talked. You have a lot to say, I'm sure.
Yeah, you only like the sound of your voice.
I do, actually. In fact, when I get closer to you, it emanates. And
Shut
kind of
up.
of you.
Please shut up. Let's go to the store. Come on, let's go.
Hoorah, my friend. Let us get going. Captain Scritch, if that is okay with you, I do not wish to give orders.
Captain Scritch would appreciate his furniture as quickly as possible.
Then as quickly and as swiftly as possible it will be. He's going to bow to you very, very low. First mate, Jack, let us get moving. And you can see Jack is already like heading towards the door, not wanting to listen to. I'm sure not wanting to listen to anything that he has to say anymore.
Did Scritch build the shrine already?
No, you have a bunch of like scrap wood and other things from your backpack and rope that you've grabbed.
Okay, yeah,
all
that's fine.
all kind of near you, and you're kind of coming with an idea of how to build it.
Okay.
So you have everything ready.
All right. Scratch is Scratch. Scritch is gonna put his captain's hat on, and start heading down to the lower deck to get more food.
All right. You put on your large captain's hat. When you do, it kind of woofs off the ground, and a giant, almost kind of like a little like layer of dust comes off. And again, you are now encloaked in this giant hat.
Perfect.
All right.
Captain Scritch must ready the crew.
And you just start you kind of fix your robe a little bit, pick up your belt, and head on out. As you walk outside, you see Jack and Marco are talking to each other as they're walking off the gangplank, and you can just hear Jack is just saying like stop talking, and Marco's going on trying to hear his voice off of him. Scritch, you walk outside and you see a familiar friend up on the railing above you as you're looking up at the morning sun and the clouds that are coming overhead from the west. That seem to be a storm coming in. And Elwin's going to smile at you, and he says, hello there. I am Elwin. You are Captain?
Captain Scritch.
Ah. He's going to speak in Elven and hope you understand him.
Let me see if he does. I don't think he does. Oh shit, he does. Yeah. Scritch knows Elvish.
He says, I'm not quite sure if you know Elvish. Unfortunately, many bone collectors don't know the language. Are you familiar with it? And you see that he's very hopeful for this, because you can see he talks very fluently in Elven. Like, it's actually very, very nice to hear him talk.
He's like, come on.
Right.
Yeah, Captain Scritch knows Elvish.
He actually jumps down from the railing on the chair and makes like a little tumble check, rolls in front of you, and he excitingly smiles, and he reaches down for your hand as if for like a brotherly grasp.
Scritch will shake it.
It's good to meet you, my friend, in Elvish. He says very happily and firmly, finally, one I can speak to, and you're the captain, which will help. I am still learning Common. Not easy, but it's a task in itself, needless to say. I've never had the need to speak it, and at the academy we never needed to learn it. That was never instilled upon us. But it's just wonderful to be able to speak to a high superior member of the Bone Collectors. I am Elwin, son of Orfwin. I am a wood elf of birth, but a a protector of the Emperor Citadel by rank, and I am here to help you in your journey. If you need anything at all, please let me know. I am good with a bow, if you see. And he's going to turn and show you his bow and quiver.
Captain Scritch is happy to have you aboard, and Captain Scritch can teach you common.
Oh, well, that would be wonderful. You actually have an easy way of speaking about it. But if you don't mind, I wish to actually mostly speak to you in Elvish if I could. It's just easier for me.
That's fine.
He smiles greatly. Well, I'll let you get going. I did not mean to interrupt. I'm sure you're off to do your duties as a captain, and he's going to jump back up and climb back up the railing and sit back there, and he's basically looking over the ship and your door for the most part.
Right. When he's like getting ready to leave or whatever, Scritch is gonna call out to him.
Captain Scritch, is readying the crew. We'll leave when I get my furniture.
He looks at you kind of confused. Do you say that in Elvish?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks at you kind of confused. He says, "What's furniture? What do you need furniture for?"
Captain Scritch needs stuff for his captain's quarters.
He kind of looks down at the deck and he says, "That's what we've been waiting for."
Yeah. Captain Scritch isn't a captain without his hat and his furniture.
Of course, Captain Scritch. He nods. I could move that chair down below me into your room. Is that satisfying enough for you, or do you need more?
Captain Scritch believes he needs a lot more.
He just looks disappointed again, and he says, "Of course, Scritch, we will wait for your furniture till it arrives."
Scritch is just gonna like tip his hat to him and then head below deck to get more food.
Okay. So you head below deck. The rest of you, you're pretty much finished up eating breakfast for the most part. You're now just all enjoying sitting around and just talking and catching up on things and meeting some of the newer members, hearing their stories. It's actually kind of nice to just relax for a moment. It seems like you guys have been caught up in a lot of stuff. Sitting down and just enjoying your company has been something that's far and few from between.
Bashir would probably finish eating, and then if nobody stopped him, he'd probably actually walk out in towards wherever the animals are being kept. I know the boars are up top, but I know I also got some other animals, I think.
Correct.
Right, so he's gonna go and check on them. He probably would have already taken a few minutes to cast a spell or whatever to be able to talk with animals. But
okay.
He's more so he spent a lot of time in the woods, so he's more comfortable socializing with animals at this point.
Okay. So you're gonna get ready to. When you do, you actually see Scritch enters the room with his giant hat. Scritch, when you enter, you actually knock several things off the one shelf to the right of you, and the other part of your hat just kind of poofs, and you see it hits the window. Nothing happens, but it even ends up in the giant bin of lemons and mangoes, and you can see some of them even pop out of the crate and roll onto the floor. And Ivan, you even get hit right in the your elbow and your arm, and it kind of poofs up near your ear. And actually, it kind of flattens your face to the others, or to Coraline, who's sitting next to you on your left.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. And I'll kind of just put my hand in between my face and the hat and just kind of push it away a little bit. Good morning, Scritch. It's nice to see you. Could you move to the side a touch?
Captain Scritch is here for food.
Yes. Well, didn't Jack? I think Jack took you a plate already.
Jack probably ate it on the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jack always starving. That warforged.
Yeah. He likes to eat Scritch's food.
I'm sure. And I'm just gonna kind of move over a little bit.
Bashir would give Scritch a bit of a salute. He's just good morning, Captain. I was going to check on the livestock before we leave.
Scritch is gonna tip his hat to him.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Captain Scritch has ordered we leave once Captain Scritch gets his furniture.
You all, as Scritch, as you walk past, Your hat goes over Ivan, hitting right over Rubik's head, right over Bashir's head. Luckily, since they're so short, and you kind of take a seat. It does brush up on Rubik's hair, which causes it to kind of go frizzy in the back, but that's about it. Nothing too crazy. You don't knock off anything else of any shelves, and your hat doesn't cause any more chaos with that. You do see the Count, or Neb, and he's just staring at you with delight as he's smiling at you. Captain, I made this for you, and he's going to hand you a small, what looks to be a totem of a frog, a wooden chiseled totem. For good luck on the seas ahead of us. And he's going to hand it to you, and he's very, very happy to offer you this.
Thanks.
Scritch is just gonna like put it in his pocket.
It will bring you good luck.
Captain Scritch definitely needs good luck.
He smiles. For skirt.
For skirt.
And Nabs goes back to eating his mound of food that he's watched Carnes do.
Rubik's finished with his meal and gets up and from the table and I'm just gonna walk towards the center of the ship, towards like the mast, where go up to the crow's nest. Why not? There's a ladder or something.
Okay.
And I'm gonna keep an eye out, and if anybody starts heading off the ship, like I'm gonna speak up and be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not going anywhere."
Okay.
We're under house arrest now. No one's leaving the boat.
So Rubik's watching the boat from all angles in the crow's nest, making sure no one leaves. So Rubik, you're off to do that. Bashir, you're gonna go leave and check in the livestock. Ivan, what would you like to do? Would you like to stay and join Scritch's company, or do you want to go off and do something of your own?
I'm going to look to the Triton next to me. Coral, was it?
Coraline. She smiles. Coraline Deepart, at your service.
I actually was going to test some of my gear. Would you like to accompany me for a swim?
She smiles very graciously, but she's actually going to look over at Scritch, who's the captain. Captain Scritch, is it okay if I go for a swim? She looks very excited. I have finished all the cooking and did all the dishes.
Yeah, Captain Scritch thinks that's okay. But, we leave within an hour.
Of course, she bows her head. Is the food enjoyable to you, as you've already eaten like 8 pancakes and several handfuls of bacon and sausage?
Scritch is just gonna give her a thumbs up and just keep like stuffing food in his mouth.
All right.
Bulldozer.
Yeah. There was food left over here, but not anymore. When Scritch sat down, it's gone.
Oh, and when Bashir and Rubik got up, if there's anything left over on their plates, he was gonna grab that.
Plates.
Yeah, you actually grabbed their plates and just garbage plated onto yours, and just like mounted up plates to help you eat.
Rubik's is empty. Like it's like
It's
clean.
clean.
Like you can put it back in
Yep.
the cupboard.
Clean.
Bashir is just mashing everything into a cup, so there's a cup.
So yeah, Ivan. She gladly accepts your offer, and you see that Coraline. She very excitingly runs back towards the room. I'm going to go get some things and drop some things off. I'll meet you on the top deck. And she's going to excitedly run away and just run down the deck and go back to her room.
Okay. I actually need to go drop something off too. Do I have a specified? Where did I just sleep? Oh, I just slept in the.
Officer's quarters.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The
Do I have-
private one.
Do I have like my own little section in there, or can I make my own little section in there?
You notice that there was 2 bunk beds. There's 4 bunk beds, and there was plenty of cupboards and like own private chests and shelves everywhere. Like just
All
it
right.
was really nice for an officer's quarters. They were very nicely done.
I'll go in there and I'll just kind of because I just want to basically just place some stuff down. So I can
Okay.
Things.
Yeah.
So I'll go in there and I'll go
Some more personal and valuable belongings you don't want to lose. Okay. So you go back to your room and drop some stuff off. Nab's going to keep smiling at you, Scritch, and he says, "Captain, is there anything you wish for me to do?"
Ready the ship?
I will follow Bashir, and he's going to our Master Bashir, and he's going to bow to you and duck past your hat and jump, like kind of crawl underneath the table and run out the door.
All right.
Scritch has officially driven away everyone from that table.
Mark actually notices you're sitting alone, and he's going to actually come over and join you. But he notices you have no food at this. You've basically taken all the food, so he kind of grumpily goes back to where he was. Little goblin taking all the food, eating everything.
Oh, if there's no food left at this table, Scritch is gonna get up and move to the other table.
Okay, you instantly get up and follow him. When he sits down, you just kind of go on between his legs, and he notices you, and he says, "Oh, great." He's gonna quickly reach in for pancakes, but you end up almost stabbing him with the fork and grabbing half the stack.
Almost.
How
Captain's
could you
dibs.
do that? The fork is so small. And he's gonna grab some with his hand.
Captain has to eat, or else this ship doesn't go where it needs to go.
Beekman laughs hysterically. It's true. The captain needs everything he eats. We should appreciate what he does for us. He is the captain, after all. And Beekman smiles at you. Captain Skirtskirt, if I may, I am good at boosting morale and cheering everyone up. If I could, I'd like to sing songs along the voyage and take care of the deck as much as I can with only one arm, as he kind of waves his little nub with the little sleeve kind of still tied off at the end.
Yeah. Scritch thinks that sounds like a good idea.
Pleasant. He pulls out his tambourine and shakes it. I will go boost morale now as I am done, as you see. And he kind of shows you his plate. I do not waste any food either. And he smiles as he's going to get up from the table and he's going to bow to you. Master Orc, you may have my seat. And the Orc's just going to kind of shove him aside. Get out of my way, I'm hungry. And Beekman kind of like steps back. How rude! And he's going to kind of like twitch his head up and down like a bird would, and he's going to step off and walk out and head back to his new post as trying to boost morale on the main deck. Rask, you are now alone with Scritch at the table, and you can see Balthazar. Balthazar is there, the Orc is there, and Isilda is there as well. And Isilda's actually like very nervous. You can see she's sweating and seems very intimidated by Scritch's presence.
She's the little halfling sorcerer, right? Or the one that had that took a liking to Jack.
Yes.
Okay. So Rask does know who she is. Rask is gonna, like, very gently put a hand on her shoulder and then, like, shove her carefully to his other side and then sit in her spot instead, so she's not right next to Scritch.
Okay. You do so, and she notices this, and she looks over at you. You're now very, very smushed by the hat as well as Ivan was, and you're just kind of using your one arm to keep it away, like back from you, as if it's a giant tree, and and you're using your other hand to eat your breakfast. And the Orc is laughing hysterically, and as every once in a while, when Scritch bends down or like leans his head down to eat, you see the feather actually hits the Orc right in the face, and he just kind of like tickles his face as well, and he stops what he's doing, and he just gets very annoyed by this, and you see he's actually going to stand up and move back. That hat is ridiculous, Goblin. Why do you wear such an aggravating thing? I want to destroy it.
It's a captain's hat.
There's no
Scritch
captain's
is
hat.
captain.
You do not need to wear that hat to be a captain.
I am the captain, so
You do not need to wear that hat to be the captain, Scritch.
Scritch is captain. Scritch has hat. Scritch.
Oh, you're so aggravating.
Hat.
Storm off and just leave, as he just can't handle this anymore.
Rask is gonna kind of actually tip the hat so that it won't hit him going up. So he's under the hat with Scritch now.
Yes, now you tipped it back with an umbrella in a sense. You're both now underneath it. And it's kind of it's almost like you guys are underneath a giant sun umbrella on the beach. And
Okay.
as Scritch leans down, you kind of lean down as well and are now very close to your food and eat. Yeah, you're just kind of like, okay, we're going down. I'm very close to my food. We eat it.
Eating in unison.
And it's very awkward when you're doing that. So it's like you're almost working out. You're doing some ab workouts right now with Scritch.
All right.
And Balthazar is trying
gonna-
not to laugh as well as he's drinking some juice.
Rask is
Rask,
struggling
have you
really
had some
hard.
juice? And he's going to try to hand you a cup as he wants to see if you can successfully do this.
Rask is gonna stick his hand out for the cup, but like Scritch goes down, so then he can't see the cup anymore. He's just
And,
like gonna hold it out.
Isilda's going to laugh and kind of cover her mouth as she doesn't want to be too loud. And
Scritch.
Yeah.
Hats are for outdoors.
Oh, okay. Scritch will take it off.
Scritch, let's like take off the hat and like set it.
You have to lean it against the wall.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
sit
like
on
set it
the
over on
table.
this like bin of bananas. Oh, I'm on fucking Retsu's thing. That's why I can't pin it. Yeah, that.
okay,
I was like, why can't I ping this right now?
Right.
And like,
Come on,
it enlarged
ping.
the stream. I was like, shit.
You're clicking harder on your mouse because
You
you're
should
like,
get
it's
the mage.
work.
You should get the mage cantrip, so you can always have it like held for you all the time.
Oh god.
You just made
Jeez.
Jason say.
Oh my god, I know what I'm
Jason,
doing next.
You set it down on the giant thing of bananas, and you kind of think back that you're like, when I pick my head up, I'm going to grab some of those bananas too.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You make a mental note of that, and you sit back down, and Balthazar smiles and says, that is so much nicer. Captain Scritch, it's actually good to see you instead of the hat.
It's just Scritch without the hat.
Oh, of course. I apologize. He's going to look down at his food and think about that for a moment as he's like trying to put it all together. Of course, you're just Scritch without the hat. Well,
Yeah,
Scritch,
because the hat makes the captain.
Oh, Isilda just laughs at that. She says, I think it's funny and possibly true. He does seem to be different when he's wearing the hat, as she chimes in. Balthazar just looks over at both of you, Scritch and Isilda. I don't know if any of that seems logical, but I'll look it up in my book. And he's going to reach into his backpack, and you see that he has tons of books. You see that almost all of his backpack is books. You almost worry if he has any other gear while traveling as an adventurer. I know it's here somewhere. It could be tucked away in my bedroll. Hold on, I'll go back to my room. I'll be back with the book. Stay here, everyone.
Okay.
And Balthazar is going to leave and go. He's actually going to leave his plate there too, not knowing Scritch's behavior.
Oh god.
And
Yeah,
Scritch,
Scritch is gonna
yeah, I was
lean
going to say,
over
you
and
see
grab
that
it.
and it's actually a very nicely organized plate. Everything's in its spot. You just dump it. You just kind of like take it and plop it on yours, and then take the plate off and set it to the side and just start eating it.
Rask has two untouched plates next to him. And if Scritch reaches for them, Rask is gonna slap his hand.
Scritch, do you wish to do that, or do you just wish to use the plates that you brought over from your table?
Eight.
He'll just keep using like his plates as long as there's like food in other spots. He'll just keep eating that before he reaches over for rest.
Okay.
If he reaches over for Rask's in front of him, it's fine. Rask is just gonna prevent him from taking the other two.
Using Sentinel, right?
Use that Sentinel.
Attack of opportunity on the plate.
That plate's
On
not
the
going
hand on the
anywhere. Yeah. Oh, the plate actually has really good heavy armor. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
DM,
Yes, Rubik.
is Rubik in the bird's nest?
Rubik is indeed in the bird's nest by now, and we will actually get to you in a moment, Rubik.
Oh, okay.
Rich, is there anything else you'd like to do before we pan over to the next group?
No, I think Scritch is just gonna keep eating, and then when he's done, grab his hat, stick a couple bananas in his pocket, and then head up to the top deck and kind of like oversee everyone getting the ship ready to leave.
Okay.
Rask is gonna, as he's finishing up his own plate, he's gonna grab the other two plates, carefully stack them on his hand, and then like pat Iselda? Is that her name?
Yes.
Iselda on the head, and then leave and take the plates. For one is for Vree and one is for Tink.
Okay.
And that's what Rask does.
Okay. And Scritch, you're gonna continue to eat and just enjoy the food since it's just you and Isilda at this point, just enjoying everything.
Yep.
Rask also says, "Don't eat Iselda."
Oh,
To Scritch.
Scritch isn't that hungry.
She kind of nervously laughs and starts thinking about it for a moment. As you can see, she's dwelling on that kind of that idea.
Yeah,
And
Scritch is just gonna have like a dead serious look on his face, like, yeah, no, I'm not that hungry, but like, kind of give her the idea that like
he's not joking either.
it's not that he wouldn't eat her, he's just not that hungry at the moment.
Right. So yeah, she's even more nervous now that it's just you two, and you say that, and Rask leaves. Well, when with that now, Bashir, you end up in the mid deck still, and you go into the empty storage room that they had. That would seem to be the only feasible room left for livestock. And you go in there and you see that there are the 2 pigs and 3 goats. The pigs aren't as large as you'd hoped, but they are decent-sized pigs, and they will grow. The goats, however, though, are actually very good-looking goats, and they look like they already produce milk.
Perfect. Bashir probably would have already cast the Speak with Animals thing, just because when he knows he has the ability to, he generally does, as like a thing. And it only takes 10 minutes anyway, so he could have done it when he was eating. Either way, he's going to walk in there, and he's just going to... he's going to get into like a military stance, and he's just going to look around, and with the spell, he's going to say, "Attention crew, I require your attention."
Food! Food! One of the pigs says.
Bashir's just going to roll his eyes. Domesticated animals. Food will be brought once you hear Bashir's orders.
The goats are just kind of talking amongst themselves. They don't really notice that you're talking in general at all. They seem to be very infatuated with their own conversation. And you can see that they're actually trying to chew at they're trying to chew at one of the boards that's slightly lifted. You can see some of the nails are lifting up a little bit, and they're trying to chew on the ends of it. As you can see, they've already gotten some wood chips up.
Bashir's just going to walk over there and kind of like try to politely shoo them away.
Man, food! And they're just going to kind of separate.
Bashir will give you food once you hear Bashir's orders and repeat them without question. Do not eat the ship. Bashir is not sure if you know this, but if you do so, you will die.
Nab's going to enter, and he says, "Animals, Quartermaster Bashir, did you do this?" And he's going to excitedly step into the room with you.
Bashir did not make them. As he gives like a disgusted look at him.
Oh, I thought you had magic. He kind of seems embarrassed as he says that. "Forgive me," and he looks down.
Bashir thought he meant like without magic, but Bashir, you're just gonna leave him. Bashir's magic allows him to interact with nature, not create it.
Oh.
As he's looking up, would you mind gathering some of the feed for the animals? They appear to be hungry. They will not listen to me.
Of course. He's going to nod. He's going to run off and go get some feed, and you see the rest of the animals just seem restless. They're hungry. They're nervous. You see the pigs are actually they seem very aggressive, actually. And when one of the goats gets nearby, one of the pigs actually bites at him, and they separate and go, and they kind of go into each corner and stay separated.
Bashir is just going to sit he's just going to sit cross-legged in between them, just as like a bit of a buffer, and just sigh and just. Bashir knows that this journey will be hard on each of you. Bashir has never been this far away from land himself, and we have yet to leave the bay. He's just going to look over at the goats.
Food!
Yes, food is coming. Do you understand your role aboard the ship?
Food!
I know that is the pig's role.
You keep us safe for food.
Domesticated animals are the worst. Is Bashir just like...
We want food too. We want food more than goats. We will be good to you. Protect you.
Bashir...
You see the pig up his feet on his little feet on the deck as if he's trying to prove something to these goats.
Bashir just looks at the pigs and realizes that they're not going to be able to do anything or anything to happen. Bashir appreciates, but you are only here in case we run out of our other food. As he looks at the pigs, and he looks over at
goats. They almost start buying and almost mocking the pigs as if that's all they're good for.
Bashir's going to look down at the pigs. So if you wish to not die quickly, then you will behave yourselves and stop asking for food.
Eventually, Nab comes back, or the count, and he brings a bag of feed. Captain Scritch is eating breakfast at the moment. I don't know if you knew. He says that we're going to be set sailing. Did you hear? As his furniture arrives, and he's going to start emptying the bag of feed a little bit to the half to the pigs and then half to the goats, and then he leaves the rest in the middle.
Bashir will kick a little bit away from the pigs to give them the idea that they need to listen to him, and then how big is this bag? Because I can't carry much. Oh no, I got the bag of holding, so I'll just throw it in the bag of holding for now. Then.
Okay. So you take the empty bag.
You said it was only like half of the bag, so I just whatever's in the bag.
He's going to give half to the pigs and half to the goats.
Oh,
or
the whole bag.
About a quarter and quarter, and then put the rest in the middle, just like so they can eat it throughout the rest of the day. Because this one bag will feed them all the whole day.
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought you said that. Never mind. Bashir will just put the empty sack back in his bag, holding real quick for time's sake, and look over at Nab. Bashir was hoping that these would be more conversational than the boars, but it appears that the more domesticated animals get, the more that they are.
Nab nods. It's true. It's true. I used to take care of livestock last clan I was in. He smiles. I take care of livestock for you. If you wish, I keep them safe. I make sure no one kill, unless you give order.
Bashir will just nod. Appreciated. Bashir is not certain that he can deal with this type of conversation as he looks over at the other animals.
They're just eating. They don't even care what's going on right now. They're just more infatuated with the food in front of them. And Nab nods. I know animals. I know they good. They okay. I take care. He smiles, and he's going to sit down in between them as well, and just kind of like play with the food in between his hands as a goat walks over and he starts feeding him.
Bashir will just sort of nod and start to get up, and he'll just wave goodbye at Nab as he exits, and he's actually going to head towards top deck and try to go to the front, whatever part of the ship is facing out to sea. He's going to go to the foremost railing.
Okay, so you're going to head back to the top deck. So that's what you're doing. We're actually going to shoot up to Rubik now, who's up in the crow's nest. While you're up there, you see Vree and Elwyn watch you go up there as you're climbing up. It takes you about a minute, and you get up there, and you're finally up there, and it was a good, decent little workout, actually, climbing up there. When you do get to the top, though, it's very windy. Your hair's blowing everywhere. Your beard's kind of going back and forth. And your eyes, you kind of have to squint just because it's so windy up there. And the sun is up, but there's a lot of clouds coming from the west, a big storm.
Yes.
So I'm gonna like sit down on the decking and kind of like hunch over, and I pull out from my pack a little brass. Well, what is it? A little brass like bowl almost, like high sides. I dump some incense and some herbs and some charcoal in there, and like light off the charcoal. I use a little cantrip, direct a sacred flame in there. Does that work? To like ignite the
Sacred
charcoal.
flame?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flame is radiant, though.
Yeah. It's a pillar of radiant fire.
Okay.
Yeah, I would allow that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm casting a spell. So I was trying to give it some flavor.
No, I get you. I like it.
And so I'm gonna spend like about an hour up there and slowly feed like parts of like incense and herbs and stuff into there, and think back to the city when we were fighting like the Drow and like the demon pit, and like the moments leading up until like Coin jumped through the portal, and just kind of use those memories, and I cast Find Familiar. And I'll summon the thing I sent you, the cherub, but it appears in its shape change form as a raven.
Okay. So the raven appears.
But it takes me an hour to do that.
Oh, so you're gonna start doing that now then?
Yeah. It's
Gotcha.
an hour long to cast.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay. All right, so you're gonna sit up there and take the time to do that, and also keep an eye on make sure no one else leaves the ship.
Mm.
So you head off. Next up, we've got, let's see, Jack attack. You arrive at the furniture store
Oh, God.
that Marco has bought the furniture from, and you can see that it is open, and outside of it actually stand two people, two citizens. It looks like one's a halfling and one's a human, and they're actually discussing something. And he's a very large human, and he's standing in front of the door, and he's holding some it looks like some wooden drying racks for towels and other things like that, possibly meats, whatever he may be using it for. But it looks like he's got some wooden drying racks in his hands, and he's talking to the halfling. So I told Martha that we don't need to get more pie racks, we need to get more dry racks. And she started laughing hysterically, and the halfling starts laughing. Ho, 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 ho. That is too funny. That is too funny. And they both notice you and Marco approach as they just stop talking.
We're here for Captain Scritch's stuff.
Oh, forgive me, I'm in the way. And he's going to get out of the way. And the halfling's going to look at both of you. Aren't you two bone collectors? I am a silver scale. He is a bone collector, as Marco chimes in. We are helping the bone collectors actually sail across the sea. Our silver scales, you see, are heroes among merchants as well. And he smiles at them and kind of gives them a wink. And the halfling looks over at you, Jack.
A very visible eye roll.
And he kind of laughs and says, well, thank you for your services, boys, as he puts the wooden pipe back in his mouth and walks with the larger human. And he said, so speaking of Martha's pies, I was hoping there was some raspberry pies. And they kind of go off and start talking about other things. And the door, you see the door opens. You hear the door open as Marco is holding the door open for you. First mate Jack, after you.
I'll walk through begrudgingly.
Ah, yes. Ooh, your back is shiny too. I can actually see myself a little better this way.
I'll turn super quick so they can't see his reflection.
Jack, why must you do this?
Why must you do the things that you do?
Your chest will work fine as well. Just stay still.
I'm gonna keep moving.
And you start moving around and just shaking back and forth, and eventually you hear a, may I be of service?
Yes, we're here for Captain Scritch's goods, furniture.
Yes,
I believe it was.
Excuse me, what?
I believe it was Captain Scritch's furniture that we were here for, and I look at Marco for confirmation.
Yes, is fine antiquities. He smiles at the older gentleman. The older halfling looks up at you and he says, this is no mere furniture. These are great antiques and works of art, sir. And he's going to walk over and he's going to hand you a slip of paper. This is everything that you'll be taking. It's in the back on a wagon.
I'll pick it up.
They should
Thank
be
you.
loading it now. You can walk outside and go to the back through that door, and he's going to point to another side door.
I'll put my hand out to have Marco go first.
Of course. Before you do, he actually, the rest of the payment. Of course. And Marco's going to reach into a bag, and you see that he's going to pull out 4 platinum and hand them to him.
Yeah, you'll get your fucking money.
Marco's going to smile and says, of course, and a little extra for all your efforts, my friend. And don't forget the silver scales always pay extra. And he smiles and winks at him. Yes, of course, you silver scales have done me well. I hope you come back from your tribulations with them, in fact, as he smiles at you can see that Jack's wearing a bone collector's tunic. It's odd seeing you two working together since they just beat you up. And he just kind of laughs and he walks away. And Marco looks very angrily at the floor for a moment and then grips his fist for a second and then lets go and smiles. It's in the past. Things are different now. Right, my friend, as he looks at you, Jack?
Yeah. We should get going.
Of course, let's go get those things, those antiquities. And he's going to open up the door again and let you walk out.
I'll walk out. Boom! Fireball in the face.
So you head out to the back of the barn to grab the furniture. When you do, you see that there are 4 other halflings, and they all seem to be very, very confrontational. You actually see 2 of them are kind of in a tussle, and they're almost shoving each other, and the other 2 are yelling back and forth at each other. I told you to load it this way. Well, I said it this way. Now look what you did. You scuffed it. And I told you that if we loaded it this way, it was going to scuff the wood. Well, I told you we should have used the rope.
Hey!
They all stop and look at you.
Quit your grab assing. You grab over here. You grab over here, and we're gonna pull this thing.
Roll persuasion.
I ain't got time for your shit.
Or intimidation, since you're being so so intimidating.
Yeah. 23.
All right. They very quickly begin to start moving and helping you load up the rest of the wagon. You see this furniture that Scritch is getting is super nice. It's probably the best furniture that you could possibly find. It looks like it's been made from craftsmen of many generations. Some of these things look like they should be in castles. It's just kind of insane how much Marco spent money on this furniture for him.
I'll look at Marco and say, well, hopefully we don't sink this ship.
I'm sure we won't under the orders of Captain Scritch. And of course we have the Bone Collector's protection. The Bone Collectors never lose. And he smiles. We've proven that. The Silver Scales, we had a record, I tell you. But that's something about the Captain Scritch being able to win the game with one try. He's never played before. There's something about him. He's a greatness, I tell you. Greatness! Let's get the wagon moving, shall we? Boys, stop arguing. Let's get moving. And you can see they're still arguing about the scuff on the dresser, which you can't even see, but they seem to notice it, and they're arguing about it. I told you there's a scuff, and they kind of start pushing each other again, and Marco just starts laughing. Come on now, boys!
Hey! Say quit your shit!
They stop immediately and separate. The little mule that pulls the wagon, you can see that the one halfling grabs the reins and starts walking him, while the rest of the boys...
Who's a good boy?
Well, all you do is picture wings on him, and you now think it is a Pegasus. It's the closest thing to a Pegasus, so you really enjoy it. Horses, donkeys, mules, anything horse-related. Jack really enjoys.
I paint like little wings on them.
Yeah, you just are those wings, Jack? Maybe.
No.
So,
it came like that, I swear.
You obviously you're gonna escort the wagon and follow the 4 halfling brothers.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand behind them to like keep moving.
Okay. You see Marco's going to stand by your side. Ah, Jack, what a beautiful day. Ready to sail off onto the great sea. Have great adventures. It should take us a long time to travel, too, so we'll become great friends.
Christ, if you say another word, I'm going to make sure you don't make it on the boat.
Well, you see, my mother used to say
I said another word.
But I always found her, you see. She would try to ditch me at the marketplace.
I'm going to shove him, like, super hard.
All right, roll a athletics.
14.
Wow. Okay. He did not do too well. You shove him and kind of like you see in the movies when they kind of like the man and the girl kind of shove each other like jokingly, like flirting. Well, you look to do that, but you just stiff arm him so hard that he hits the ground and he tumbles and he just kind of lays there for a moment, like he just doesn't get up. He looks at you and he says, "I think you might have pulled my arm out of socket. I'll be okay though. I'll be there with you." And the halfling brothers just kind of look down as they don't want to be the next person to get shoved. And some of the townsfolk see this and they all kind of start laughing. And Marco says, "It was a good joke, Jack. That was a good one. You got me good. Dislocated my shoulder, but I'm good.
You son of a bitch.
I'll get you back for that one." And he kind of just starts getting slowly, and he's trying to follow you as he's trying to put his arm back into socket. So you shove him to the ground quite hard, and with the intent of just making him shut up. So he's far behind now as he's slowly walking like a wounded puppy, and you're now making it back towards the ship. You should be there soon. We're gonna go back to Ivan, who's now in his room. Well, his kind of new designated room down in the lower deck. What seems to be his room. It's a small room with 4 bunk beds and a couple of other furniture that he can use to his advantage, as well as any other roommates that he might want to have. Usually officers, it looks like, would stay in here. And you chose the purple room, is what it's called. There's
Yes.
a green room and a purple room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will. Does it seem to be like a dresser, or?
Yeah, that is a dresser, and actually you can see that there is what looks to be a plate of freshly cut bread. So it looks like someone was in there cutting up some bread for you, and there's a fresh bowl of water that someone put in there for you as well for the morning.
All right. Is there a lock on the door?
Yeah, there is a lock.
Okay. I'm going to set my stuff down, basically like my alchemy bag.
Okay.
And I will walk out of the room and. Is there a set of keys near it, or
No, you
Okay.
don't see. And roll a
That's
perception
fine.
check actually if you want to look for any keys.
it does? Didn't think they would. I think Bashir might have them.
What was it?
Nothing. Just thinking to myself. 19.
Yeah.
You begin to look around. And you don't see any sign of the keys.
All right. I will exit the room then, and just close the door behind me, and head top deck.
All right. So you head top deck, where Coraline is. And you can see she's very excitingly standing at the side of the deck, and she is still taking care of Masuma as well. As you can see that she's feeding him some fish.
Nice. You two seem to be becoming quite close.
She is very friendly, but when they get bigger, they're very difficult to tame. You should think about finding it a good home, or possibly learning how to tame it.
I need to find somebody with that knowledge.
Ugh, she sits it down onto the deck. It's getting big too. And you eventually see that Masuma starts heading towards you and just bites onto your toe, but not hard, but just knobs onto it, and just latches on, and just sits there.
Gonna kind of like wince and just a touch of pain.
And
Kinda like lean down
She
and
just
pet
kind of
her.
flinches. Ooh.
Oh, that hurts. I would feel like she could go. I'll look to Coraline. I feel like she could take a swim with us. I don't feel like there would be anything this close to shore that would be bad.
All of the other predators left after the bodies were gone, so we should be safe. Let me check. And she's going to jump into the water. When she does, you actually see that she's going to turn into what looks to be some sort of not quite a shark, but a little bit that size, but more of an aggressive sea fish. It looks like. And she dives into the water, and when she does, it seems very quiet as well, as if it was very, very stealthy dive. And after a few moments, you eventually see that she kind of pops her head back up, and then just kind of moves back and forth up, almost like an up and down motion.
Masuma, do you want to go for a swim? And I'll kind of just like reach out to attempt to pick her up.
You do so, and she lets go of your boot and just kind of sticks her head into the shell.
I'll pick her up, assuming that I can.
Okay. She's very heavy. It is gonna be difficult to swim with her in your hands unless she starts swimming on her own. But yeah, you can jump off.
Well, I just want to. I mean, at least I could put her in the water.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want me to roll for anything with how heavy she is?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I will pick up, and I will. I am gonna jump into the water, and then
Okay.
I'll just let her go.
Okay. You see as you leap off, she kind of like tucks in all of her limbs in her head, and you jump in, and you actually, because you're hanging on to her, it makes a pretty good splash, very loud, and And when you get in, you actually hit the bottom, not very hard, but just like a little boom, and a bunch of dust kind of comes up, and Masuma instantly sticks her head out and just kind of starts swimming, and you're hanging on her back.
And I just realized I forgot to put my hood up, and I'm like, oh god, and I reach for like behind my head, and I put my Cloak of the Manta Ray hood up, and I'm like, oh,
Okay.
that was close.
It forms your face kind of like a superhero mask in a sense, and allows you to breathe.
Oh, this is neat. And I kind of just like look around me, and I'll just try to like swim because I have a swim speed of 60 feet with this thing on.
Okay.
So
You
just
let
try
go
to,
of
swim
Masuma,
around.
who's just staying near you, and you swim around, and you can see there's just a lot of fish. What looks to be a lot of wreckage of old ships, little boats, old docks that used to be built here. Quite a bit of things, and you eventually see that Coraline is swimming around and just chasing other schools of fish around, and then eventually stops and sees you and Masuma and just kind of swims over.
I attempt to talk. I don't know if I can. Can you hear me? Like, I'll just say to Coraline. I'm not sure if I don't know if I can even speak under here. I know I can breathe, but can you understand me?
She doesn't do anything or say anything. It doesn't seem like she can say anything back.
I'm sure it's just much of that, but that's okay. I'm just going to try to just like test the limit. I'm going to see kind of like how fast I can go and just kind of like see my maneuverability, and I'll kind of just like motion to her for like follow me and just like take off. She like do like a little race.
Okay. You do so. You can see she is
way faster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's
I beat
put you
her.
to shame.
Don't make me cast a spell to beat you.
You can see that she says, "If we're gonna use spells, then I'll do the same." And she just kind of
now she can talk to me.
No. That's the DM being ready to race you. But no, she you can see she's kind of doing circles around you in the sense of things dashing everywhere back and forth. The only thing that you notice off in the deep end is that there's actually a very large octopus who seems to be slumbering, but is very large and kind of intimidating looking.
Just gotta stay away from him.
Okay, that's the only thing that seems to really catch your eye with your passive perception is a 15, right?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right. As Masuma just seemed to be having a good time just swimming around.
Yeah, Masuma's actually just eating every pieces of wood, coral, dirt. She's just eating.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let her have some fun here because once we get out into deeper water, she's not gonna be able to do too much swimming in an open ocean.
So you're just kind of having fun in the water, exploring your Cloak of the Manta Ray, getting used to that. You know it's gonna be a useful tool out in these waters.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just having a good time, having a little swimming going on, and we're actually going to go back to Scritch, who's done eating now. Is Scritch there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. What's
Okay. No, you're good. It is your turn. You're done eating now.
Okay.
And it is still you and Isilda, and Isilda's done as well. You can see that she's just kind of, you can see she's just cleaning up the rest of the plates that are left.
Yeah, Scritch is gonna get up then and then go grab his hat, pocket a couple bananas for the road, and head up to the top deck and start checking to make sure the ship's getting ready to go.
Okay. Before you leave, you actually see Isilda is going to like kind of grab your arm for a moment and then quickly like bring it back, like bring her hand back to her side. Can I ask you a question, Captain Scritch?
Yeah.
How do you know of First Mate Jack?
Jack and I are best friends. He carries Scritch around. He believes in Skirt like Scritch does.
Is he truly from the island of Lantern?
Is that what he said?
That's what he told us in the bunkhouse our first day here.
Yeah. Jack doesn't lie.
She smiles as you say that. I knew it. Well, thank you, Captain Scritch. That was a lot of comfort. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And she's gonna lean in and give you a kiss on the cheek, and then just go back to work.
Scritch is just gonna slowly touch his cheek. And then he's gonna snap out of it. He goes,
Scritch got captain things to do.
And you take your giant hat and start heading back. When you do, you notice that all the things that Coraline put back on the shelf, you knock right back off again, but in the opposite direction.
not a care in the world.
Yep, no cares in the world, no fucks given. You just walk right past it. All your hat just wipes everything off that section of the shelf. But now this time, like on the other side of where you were, like instead of coming in, you're just coming out. So it's just like on the opposite side. So when people start walking in, they will start stepping on things.
Right, Scritch is gonna walk with a little extra swagger in his step too.
All right, so you start heading. Where would you like to go? Actually,
top deck.
Top deck. All right, with your giant captain's hat, Captain Scritch heads to the top deck, where mostly everybody else is at this point. We're actually going to go to Rask, who's heading to the other quarters where the bunkhouse, where everybody else is. And you actually find Tink, not in the bunkhouse, but actually in the halfway room, right here. And she just seems to be sitting in the corner crying as she notices you, and she's going to stand up and kind of wipe her eyes. What do you want, you big jerk?
Rask is sorry? He kind of holds out the plate of food.
I don't want your pity or your help. I already told you. And she gets mad. I shouldn't have even come here. I'm not even wanted.
Rask is just worried what Jac would say.
Don't worry about my father. I'm trying to make my own legacy like my father did. He was a great warrior. You know this. The stories he told us around the forge, they were endless. And I still haven't even heard them all. But I know I have to make my own path. I know I have to become a warrior just like he did. Even if I'm not his true blood, I'm still his daughter, and I'm going to follow in his footsteps. She stares at you very, very intently. You can't stop me, Rask. Whether I join the Bone Collectors or not, I'll leave and join someone else.
Rask looks visibly sad, and then he kind of sighs.
So let me fight alongside of you, please. She screams at you. And you see that there are tears like coming from her face. Please let me fight with you.
Rask won't stop you, but Rask wonders if Tink knows how it feels to be left behind.
I felt like no one wanted me a moment ago, and she kind of wipes her eyes again.
Rask kind of shakes his head. He kind of goes quiet, and then he kind of squats down and sets the plates aside. Tink was not happy when your mother died, right?
She doesn't say anything, but she shakes her head as if saying no. She just kind of not like sways her head back and forth,
like a little child, a little bit.
Yeah, just looking very sad.
Tink did not have a choice in if she stayed or left.
No.
But either way, Tink is sad.
What's your point? She kind of looks at you as she kind of stares at you and then looks back down at the ground as you can see she's kind of like nervous and doesn't know how to go about this. She's never really talked about her feelings before like this.
Rask does not know how family feels, but Rask does not want Jac and what was the brother's name?
Her brother?
Yeah.
One moment.
I forgot. You mentioned it at one point, and then it's been a long time. But Ras does not want Jacques or your brother to be sad.
Dolk Tinkerton.
Dolk.
Dolk.
Okay. Ras does not want Jacques or Dolk to be sad. Ras will not stop you from fighting, and he will do his best to help. But just think of how others don't want you to be so quick to run off and fight for your life.
She kind of looks nervously down at the ground as she doesn't want to lock eyes with you. Yeah, you're telling me. I appreciate that, but I want to prove myself. As she looks back up at you, locks eyes with you. I'm going to prove myself, even if it takes my own life. I understand the risk.
Ras kind of just like puts both of his hands on her shoulders. She's rather short, but
Yes.
it's gonna be like puts. His hands are probably quite large relative to her, but he's just gonna put them on her shoulders and say, "That is your goal. My goal is to keep you alive."
Now you sound just like Elwyn and Balthazar. She smiles and puts her hand on your hand. Thank you. You've always been a good friend, and I'm glad that you're here. And if things need repairing, they know who to come to. She smiles as you can see that she's also she actually has her blacksmith belt, tool belt still on under her tunic.
Ras kind of he puts his hands back and then he's just like, Ras can do it too. But he's kind of glad that she's picked up. He wasn't really sure what to do, but he's gonna point at the plate, one of the plates. Tink should eat.
She's going to grab the plate and start eating, and she's actually just going to sit in there and eat. Sit on the chest and eat with me.
Raska's already eaten.
Fine then. She's just going to kind of like stubbornly like stare at you and get like sit up from the corner. Where are you going then?
Top deck.
I'll go with you. Come on. And she's just going to kind of like poke you with the fork as to like get you moving, but very gently.
Raska's gonna pick up the other plate, and then he's just like, not really sure why she's poking him with the fork because he can't really feel it.
Right?
He's gonna walk and say, "This is for free."
You mean that weird half-orc that stares at everybody?
Weird.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything, and she's not even a part of the Bone Collectors, right? Isn't she with that weird organization that spies on everybody? She's just really weird. You see she actually gets the creeps about her and like gets goosebumps. She just freaks me out. She just stares at you with those dagger eyes. And that huge sword and that weird black wolf that just appears out of nowhere also is kind of intimidating, might I add, and she just kind of chimes in.
It's the sword is called Life Reaper, right?
Yes. Good job for actually remembering that.
Rask is gonna replace when she says the sword, and he's gonna say Life Reaper, and then when she says that wolf, he's gonna say Leon, just to kind of give her the names. But this is as they're walking, and she's probably like pushing him, and he's having trouble trying to keep his tail from hitting her because it's right behind. She's right behind him.
Yeah, you're trying to have a good conversation, but it's tough when you're talking forward and like she's behind you, pushing you.
Yeah, from
eating her breakfast at the same time.
This is some next level multitasking.
Yeah. So you guys are heading up top deck. As you walk past this room, you actually hear Nab talking to the goats, the pigs. No arguing. Stay away. You have your food. You have your food, and you just kind of walk past.
Yeah, Rask is just gonna walk past. He's just
And
gonna
Tink
mentally
starts
sigh.
Now he's funny, not scary like Vree. He's funny.
Free is not scary.
He is scary. And
Scary?
and you two are having a back and forth about Vree as you're heading up to the top deck. We're going to go to Carnsey-Poo. Carnsey-Poo, what you doing?
Bashir, once he gets to the top deck, he'll, like I said, he's gonna head towards whatever part of the ship is facing away from land and out to sea. I don't know if that's the very back, very front, or one of the sides.
It's the very front, actually. You can see the ship is facing out to sea, and Vree is the only one on the top deck near you at this time, just sitting on the stairs.
Bashir will just go up to the railing and kind of look out towards the water for a bit, and he's just sitting there. He's just thinking about. He's like thinking about a few things in his head. Looking down at the water, realizing, holy crap, we're actually leaving land. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Does he see Ivan and Coraline in the
Passive
water?
perception?
Pretty high, I think, actually.
High wisdom?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, you definitely see them swimming around, coming up near the ship, kind of doing. You can see that Coraline's doing tricks in the sense of everything, and you can see Ivan is learning kind of how to swim with the cloak that he has on. But you actually see he's not as graceful as he'd like to be, but he's still swimming around, and he kind of looks like someone in space in a sense as he's moving around. And you actually see Bashir leaning over. You see his little head kind of gleaming from the sunlight as it's now getting close to noon.
Can I try to shoot up?
Okay.
Go upwards.
You shoot up out of the water, and you kind of pop up like a bobber, like a fishing bobber off of with a worm attached to the other end of the fish. Kind of let go, and you kind of explode out of the water for a moment, and then kind of settle back down on the surface.
Oh. Are we almost ready to get going?
Last Bashir heard it was going to be, at this point, less than an hour. What are you doing down there? If we leave, you will be left in the water.
I'll be back up soon. I made some new equipment and I had to test it out. It allows me to swim and breathe underwater.
Why would you need that?
Well, we're leaving land for quite some time, and if I fall overboard, I want to be able to move around and not drown.
Alright. Bashir's just going to chuckle a bit at that, and then he's going to step up on the railing. And let me get this real quick. Yep. Alright.
Alright, you step out on the railing.
I'm trying to see.
In your noodle.
Okay. He's gonna cast this on himself and on Ivan just as like a bit of a practical joke on him. And then Bashir's gonna jump into the water. He'll cast a spell as he hits the water. So he's not hitting a solid surface.
All right. You do so, and you're about 10 feet away now from Ivan in the water.
But Ivan and Bashir would be forcefully pushed to the top of the surface, and then water basically acts like solid land.
Oh God! This is, and I kind of like start slowly putting my foot on the ground, and then like a little bit more pressure and a little bit more pressure. I'm like, well, this is actually quite good. And I'll kind of like walk around a little bit and see if it like, I don't know, just like test the limits of it.
Okay. You do so, and it feels very odd, since the surface moves ever so slightly. But luckily, the ship kind of keeps the waves down a little bit, and you're just kind of like, it looks like you guys are on a waterbed, just kind of moving up and down.
My brain doesn't comprehend this, Bashir. My brain says I should be falling through, but I don't. It's just weird to me.
Bashir's just
You
walking
kind of
with
newborn calf in a sense too. You're like wobbling, your knees are moving a little bit. You seem like intimidated.
Bashir's just going to walk up like everything is normal with his hands behind his back, and just walk up to Evan. Bashir learned this while living in the forests. It is useful when one's prey run across the river or try to escape into the oceans.
Can
But
imagine.
Bashir thinks that this will be useful if we need to do anything outside of the ship, or in case people fall overboard. It will be better. The spell lasts for quite a while, and this will also, as he can, Bashir's going to look towards the ship from this level. Can he see if there's like barnacles and a bunch of stuff on the bottom of it?
No, actually, you can see that this ship is very well kept. You can see that the people who previously owned it, obviously the silver scales, took very good care of it, and it looked like they did routine maintenance on this ship. How well taken care of it is.
Mm-hmm. He'll just look at it and smile a bit. It will also be helpful for maintaining the ship, or perhaps repairing it if need be. But Bashir thinks we must get on board soon. No telling when the captain appears with his furniture. He may need help as well.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Um,
let me go find them, and we'll meet you back up there. All right.
And as you say that, you actually see Jack and the others approach on the other side of the gangplank with all the new furniture. And you kind of hear them talking and yelling. You can hear Jack yelling at Marco, saying, "Jack, if you want to say something to Marco."
Okay,
Jack.
come here. I'll put your goddamn shoulder back in.
Thank you, Jack. It hurts.
He waited all the way till the ship.
Made to carry stuff too.
So you want to go tell the others that they're back?
I'll be like, Bashir, can you get back on the ship and then drop concentration? I'm not sure how to get back into the water.
Is this a concentration spell? I think it just lasts.
Oh God! So can I not get back into the water for an hour?
It says willing creatures, though, right?
Yeah, willing creatures.
Once, can I like drop it on myself?
Yeah, this isn't a concentration spell. It just stays.
I would say the caster could release it on you since you were willing to begin with. If you were willing to get it removed, he could do so.
Okay. But yeah, I'll try to dive back underwater when I'm allowed and get Masuma and Coraline and tell them to get back on the ship because we're getting ready to leave.
Okay.
Bashir would just walk up to the ship and then start climbing off of one of the, you know how ships have like those ladders built into the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd just start climbing up one of those, and as soon as he's half up, he'll drop it on Ivan.
Okay. You get back into the water, and you see that Coraline's already like heading back towards the ship as well. But Masuma seems to be having the time of her life. She's just chewing everything, just chasing fish, just exploring everything. She seems very inquisitive about a lot of things.
I'll try to go grab her.
Okay.
Hey DM, is the school of like feasting sharks after we chum the water are missing?
They don't seem to be around that area. They seem to be down more below the reef. Near where that slumbering octopus is. They're just kind of laying low and moving very slow. It looks like they have a lot of food still digesting in their bellies.
Build them up. That makes sense.
Yeah, they're pretty satisfied. They actually like you guys.
Honorary members of the Bone Collectors.
Right? They don't really like Jack that much. Their one shark buddy's pretty upset about that still. No, but it's all right. Ivan, you see that they're already heading back towards the ship. Do you want to follow?
What? I thought I had to go get Masuma.
Or I mean, do you want? You see, Masuma is willing to go with you, or like kind of like stopping moving and waiting for you to do something.
Then yeah. If she's
very
supposed to go,
submissive.
then yeah.
Okay.
We will both head back.
You start to head back, and you can see Masuma's actually trying to get onto your back.
Oh God. If I support the weight, then it's cool.
When you get up to the top, you actually see that she's still you're trying to get up, but she's almost like drowning you. And you see, Coraline starts laughing, and she says, "She thinks you're her mother. So usually, baby turtles would ride on their mother's backs."
I can't get. It's so heavy.
And she's gonna give you a hand and kind of like help you up. And Masuma's just gonna start like flopping and waiting for you to pick her up.
Oh God.
We might need to get a hook to pick her up. She probably has a lot of water in her shell.
Yeah, I'll have to come up with something.
Oh
my God.
As you say that, you actually see Vree drops down a grappling hook, and she says, put it on one of the sides of where her arms or legs are. I'll pull her up."
I will do so.
Okay. You do so, and Masuma thinks you're playing, so just starts biting on the metal hook as if it's like a toy.
No, not there. No, don't bite it. Come on. Let go. All right, come on.
All animal handling.
God.
No.
Kyle.
Dirty 20.
Well, it's probably. I don't know.
All right, so you Masuma definitely listens to what you like, kind of like your that you want to pull it away, and she stops, and she just kind of sticks all of her limbs back inside of the shell, and you hook the shell into one of the armholes, and you give it a good tug to make sure it's firm, and Vree's gonna give it a good pull. Oh yeah, she luckily she has a +5, so she yanks that up there and very safely and soundly. And as when she does, she says, "All right, your turtle's safe. Hurry up and get up here."
Kyle,
thank-
come over here.
I will make my way up there.
They want to see. They want to see who
Be a matter
got
of
shouted at.
All right, you head back up to the top deck with Coraline and Rubik. You see them appear. You also see Jack appears with the furniture. Jack, you notice everybody's kind of on the top deck. Scritch, you get up there with your large hat, and Rask as well. You end up getting on top deck with Tink.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just kind of meeting up, and Jack and Marco are up on top deck now with all the furniture coming in. And you see the 4 halfling brothers are starting to load all the furniture into the captain's quarters. And Jack, are you still assisting them from here on out, or are you done from here? You're going to let them bring it in?
I was gonna let him bring it in.
Okay. Marco seems to be very hurt still from his arm, so he's just kind of rubbing his arm. Jack, that was such an adventure. We should go on more of those more often. He smiles at you.
Do you want your other arm out of your socket?
Everyone,
or-
we are back. Welcome. Me and Jack have made it to the best of friends. And he puts his arm. He kind of like pats Jack as I'm just picturing you walk away from him.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like Hulk and Thor during the Avengers, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So you step off. Rubik, you see that everybody is now on the ship, but the halfling brothers are still loading furniture on and off. But everybody is here.
Okay, sorry, we're having a conversation. 1 second.
How dare
Move on
you.
without me, sorry.
We're finally getting ready to leave. We were at this town much longer than I was expecting us to be.
You all see Ivan appear on top deck as well. With Bashir.
Yeah, Bashir is ready as Bashir can be for leaving. He kind of looks back to land, leaving what Bashir has known for quite a while.
Okay. Thanks.
James, I thought our church.
Cheer, you'll be fine.
It is.
Scritch, you also notice Bashir and Ivan approaching, and Ivan's wearing the cloak, and he seems to be quite actually still drenched in water, but looks to be just fine after swimming in the water, which you're kind of interested in since you saw the bloodshed of what happened last time. You also see Coraline behind him, so you could tell that they probably scouted out the waters a little bit. You see Bashir, Jack, Marco, Rask, and Tink on top deck. And way above in the crow's nest, you see Rubik's beard just kind of waving in the wind as he's looking around.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
Rubik, I was just letting you know that everybody's back besides the 4 halfling brothers who are loading and unloading furniture into Scritch's room. So everybody's here and actually on the top deck.
Okay, so I assume that after the time, does my ritual or my spell complete?
Yes.
Okay, I'll mark that off for today. Then, so I'll leave my what appears to be a raven friend
up, just sitting on the railing up top, and I'll crawl back down.
We were raised by a giant. So.
Who snacks on only the finest beers?
Yes, only bone.
All right, so you step down, and you can see that everyone's gathered around now, and it seems everyone is present and accounted for.
Oh. Captain?
Scritch is gonna walk over to Jack and then climb up onto his back.
Jack will meet you halfway onto the like cargo platform there, and you just kind of jump onto, or he just kind of like picks you up and sets you onto the saddle on his shoulder, which looks like a piece of armor on one. Like it's how certain gladiators have like giant like shoulder gauntlets on their sword arm. It's kind of looks like what Jack has, but it's actually a fashionable saddle as well.
Nice. Are the halflings like done moving everything?
Yeah, they just get done, and you can actually see that they're kind of one of them. Each one of them's holding their hand out in front of Marco as Marco's tipping them as well. Jesus, you greedy halflings, get out of here! Get! And he kind of kicks one in the rear, and he says, "Don't maybe get Jack on you." And they all kind of start moving even faster, and they grab the donkey and their wagon and start heading off. And Jack, you, I just picture a little tear in your eyes as you see the donkey walk away, but then you kind of like look back and the tear just goes away, and you just like become gritted soldier again.
Donkey stays.
But Rubik, as you head down, and Rask, you actually head up. You actually see Matilda gets up, and she's gonna actually squeeze her way between you and Ivan, and as Rubik and Ivan, and just like head her way over to you and just starts against you again.
Oh no. Okay. Rask is now like being pushed from the back and being pushed from the front. He's just not
Tika's gonna stop, be just amazed. Look at that cute pig, and she's gonna scream and just kind of start petting it and feeding it off of her plate. You could have the rest of my breakfast. You're so cute, and she just kind of starts petting the pig.
Is Matilda sufficiently distracted by
No.
that?
Yeah, but pretty much vacuums the food off of her plate within seconds, and then goes back to you.
Oh no. Okay.
She is so adorable. Rubik, you see everybody's here, even Matilda.
Rask is just gonna be like, "This is Matilda. Was picked up from the tavern."
Good. Bacon. And Rubik's gonna start drawing in the gangplank.
Scritch is gonna clear his throat real quick and go,
Cast off the lines and raise the anchor.
When you do so, you see that there are a couple people that start working. You see that the drunk human that you picked up and the one-armed Kenku start pulling the lines as well as Marco.
How's the drunk human looking? Because Bashir would have made a point of not letting him near any alcohol.
He looks really bad. He looks like he's going through withdrawals, and he's shaking quite badly.
Good. Can't have him drunk the whole time. Better to get the withdrawals out of the way early. Bashir is going to walk up after Rubik says something about bacon, and just look over in Rubik's direction. And Bashir has live pigs down in the hold for bacon if need. This one, as he sort of pats on Matilda, is meant to be a mount, probably for Rask, as it seems to be attached to you, as he looks at Rask.
Rask looks at Matilda somewhat dubiously and is like, Rask doesn't... He's not sure about riding a boar.
Bashir's gonna look down at Matilda and just with the spell still active, I think. Is that concentration? Yeah, no, it's not. Okay.
That's for 1 hour, I believe, right?
Yeah, has it been an hour?
No, not yet. Not 100%. It's getting close to.
Wait, so does that mean that Rubik is done with his Find Familiar, though? Because that took...
Yeah. Yeah, so his spell of talking to animals should be up just about in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we covered that, didn't we? You said he summoned it?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, he said it took an hour. So.
Right, but I did that
They
spell
relatively did about the same time, but a little bit later for Karns. So Karns, you still have a little time left. You can talk to the boar still.
Alright. Bashir would just look down at Matilda. You do, for some reason, wish to stay near Rask?
Matilda nods. Rask, protect her. Rask friend, and just kind of starts and rubs up against Rask.
Rask is being shoved bodily by this big riding boar, even though he's also pretty big, and he's
Rask
still struggling
Alpha.
to keep the plate above everything.
When Matilda does that and says, she also says Rask is alpha, and the other boar over here raises his head and just kind of squeals for basically paying respects to Rask as he sees Rask as the leader as well.
Bashir's just going to smile and look at Rask. It appears that the Boras see you as their leader, the alpha of their pack. Matilda considers you a friend.
They killed last leader. Leader now Rask. Rask leader.
Does that mean if Bashir were to kill Rask, he would be leader?
The pig just nods.
He looks over at Rask. Do not die to an enemy, Rask, or the Boras will side with them, apparently.
Rask just like stares at Bashir as if dying to enemies is a foreign concept.
And Elwyn just kind of laughs at that too, as he knows you quite well.
Yeah. But Rask is just gonna nod short, and then he's gonna kind of dance around the boar. He's gonna whistle for Leon, actually.
All right. He will appear out of the darkness right near here and just kind of walk up to you and start sniffing your hand.
He's gonna pull off one of the extra sausage links that he grabbed for the.
Oh,
plate and hand it to
he
me.
nails that down very quickly.
Can you take this to Vree?
He'll grab the plate and just kind of go back into the darkness over here.
Okay. And then, now that he's done with the plate, he's gonna turn back around and face the boar and just sigh.
And you see Matilda has not left your side as she's just facing you,
Oh god.
wagging her little tail. Rubik, you've pulled the gangplank all the way, and you see that Scritch, they've untied the lines. You see Marco appears. Captain Scritch, might I suggest we actually get our navigator up here? We need to know where we're going, and he needs to be the one sailing the ship.
Scritch is just gonna start looking around for the navigator.
Marco looks around nervously. Anyone? We can't really go anywhere without him.
I guess I'll go grab him. I don't want to talk with him, but I'll go grab him.
Rubik just lets out a sigh as the gangplank is now being set down.
Bashir, do you wish to accompany me? I think you have the key.
Best that someone with the key would be able to be there to let him out, yes. And Bashir will follow. Do you still have Masumas with you?
What'd you say?
Do you still have the turtle?
She's just kind of like roaming. Like I can't like carry her around.
No, she's
like,
just sitting
all
on the
time.
top deck near Vree.
Ah, okay.
She's getting too big at this point.
She's like the size of a small dining room, like a small like like a kitchen table, I would say, like a 4-person table. So it's not definitely quite heavy.
She kind of just does her thing on the ship at the moment.
But you two are going to head down below to go get the navigator, since that's going to be important setting sail.
Maybe.
And as the gangplank's being pulled away, you see a lot of the villagers and fishermen are waving off to you guys. Goodbye, goodbye, as they're waving off.
Goodbye. It was nice meeting you. For I don't know, we've been here like 2 days, 3 days.
Bashir lost track of time.
So long.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are now setting away from the docks and slowly drifting. You begin to start noticing though that while you're drifting, none of the sails are set, and Marco's kind of looking around nervously. This isn't good. Perhaps we should lower the anchor just in case, so we do not crash into anything. As he looks nervously, as he's looking nervously at this really expensively beautiful boat. You can see he's sweating, and he's looking at the rest of the crew. Anybody, please!
Scritch is just gonna look down at Jack and go,
To the wheel.
God.
Please, we get to navigate it. Let's not go to the wheel and just set the anchor, I insist.
Captain Scritch will steer his vessel.
Captain Scritch, I insist. Have you ever steered a vessel before? As Marco nervously is following you both into the captain's quarters.
The hat makes the captain, and the captain automatically knows how to steer the vessel.
So you head right above near Elwyn, and Elwyn's going to step aside and look very nervously too, as he's only known Scritch for a little bit, and he doesn't know anything about sailing either. This is the first time he's been on the water. He doesn't really travel too much outside of land, or even the woods at that point. Marco nervously kind of looks at Jack and he says, I insist we wait. The wheel looks very big for you, Scritch. We would have to maybe replace it with a smaller wheel.
Jack, hop on the wheel.
Jack, I insist you just pretend you don't know what you're doing. Oh boy!
I shove Marco again.
He's going to actually run down the stairs before you do and just stare at you daggerly. Jack, I can't believe you! You're going to sink this beautiful ship! And he's just going to scream at you. Well, this is all for nothing. We came on here for nothing. Then, if you're going to sink it, or you're going to harm other people's ships, as he looks nervously as you guys are slowly spinning into near closer shore where fishing boats are parked. Even the fishermen are now running to their boats as they see the ship slowly spinning around.
Let's destroy everything here.
And everyone nervously on top of the deck. Even Ting looks to you, Ras, and says, we should listen to that fellow who keeps talking into them. As she points to Marco, and Marco's now down on the deck. Rubik, make some sense of this, please. Tell them we need the navigator.
Jack, lead us out.
Jack, do you want to try to steer the ship out?
Sure do.
Okay.
Rask is gonna start heading over to the anchor.
So you break
case.
it.
Okay, you head over to the side and you want to pull the lever for the anchor?
Rask is gonna look at Scritch and see how crazed he looks.
Scritch is completely sane.
Is he just staring off into the distance, like, set sail?
Scritch completely trusts Jack in steering the vessel.
Okay, I don't think Rask can read Jack's facial expressions. So Rask is gonna look around and gauge everyone else's panic level very quickly before dropping the anchor.
Ras, don't drop the anchor.
Rask is gonna look at Jack and just pull the lever.
Damn it! I said don't.
I mean, you can't stop him.
So you pull the lever, and when you do, you all of you feel an instant kind of like release, and you hear a chain hitting the side of the ship, like kind of slapping it as it's moving very quickly, kind of, and eventually the ship stops as it kind of halts, and all of you move side to side as the ship takes a brief halt and now sits still.
This is going swimmingly.
Rask is just gonna cross his arms and just like stare at them. Do
Tink.
we know where we're going?
Tink kind of sits, kind of nervously looks around. Wait, do you even know what we were doing? She kind of shouts at you, Scritch and Jack. Have you guys even done this before? As she shouts at you again.
There's clearly only one way out of the harbor.
Don't you know who that is? The drunk guy kind of points up. That's Captain Scritch.
And
He's
you're the drunkard.
our captain, and you should listen to him.
Scritch is gonna point to him and go,
Yeah, I am the captain.
Rask how far is Rask away from him?
You're not too far.
Is he close enough for me just to like... Oh, no, not Scritch. I meant like the drunkard. No, he's
30
not
feet.
like next to him. No, like if he was next to him, Rask would have just like clotheslined him and like shoved him overboard. But he's not. So Rask is just gonna stand protectively next to the anchor.
Okay.
And yes, I've steered a ship before. How do you think I got here?
You walked.
Yes, I walked over water, over oceans.
Water.
No,
Board
I
here.
sailed the goddamn ship.
Beekman steps forward and he jingles his tambourine. It's true! He told us down below in the deck that he came from Lanton. He's a soldier and a sailor.
Do you think my armor would be this shiny if I walked under water for countless miles?
Rash just kind of stares at him, and then points like to the oil that he probably keeps on him.
Oil has nothing to do with rust.
I know, but you can remove it. You can definitely clean it and shine it.
Well, yeah, but it's still gonna be rusted.
I know, but Rask is just gonna point. But he's just gonna stay there and wait for Dev to come up top.
All right, Rubik, is there anything you'd like to do?
Rubik's standing there and just like feeling out his new team on the open water. He's kind of just awestruck by their
ground.
their proficiency of investmentship.
Oh my god.
You could say everything's going swimmingly.
Or
It
ship
should
shape.
be. Scratch.
Rubik,
Yeah.
Rubik kind of walks forward to you, Scritch, as you see him now over here.
Scratch. Do you know which way is north?
Scritch is gonna point at literally the only way out of the harbor. That way.
When he does, you see start rolling in, and a flash of thunder hits as soon as Scritch points. Like it almost seems like really ominous.
Scritch, we need to leave. And if this boat hits, if this wood hits the hard things, this boat, it's sink.
Marco
Then-
starts like trying not to cry, bites his fingers. He's thinking about it.
Then we have no more boat, and then Lord Vulcan be not happy and maybe make Scritch not a captain anymore, and that'd look bad for Skirt. You don't want to look bad for Skirt.
Also,
Scritch
is
trusted Jack enough to get us out of the harbor until Dev got up here.
You could win another boat.
Scritch can sink this one too.
oh god.
Elwin hears this and kind of looks like around to the nearest place to swim to, like is it like preparing for the ship to go down already? You see Tink just kind of shakes her head. Oh gosh, we are surrounded.
I look around and like, where are the silver scales that are supposed to be manning this vessel?
Marco,
Yeah.
he says, the rest of my men are around the deck working as hard as they need to be doing things. They're actually working the oars, if you believe it.
Well,
Since we have no sails set and there's not enough wind right now.
all right, so we paddle out of the harbor. We can use the head or the what the hell's it called? The head sail, the lead sail.
It depends on which one you want.
Yeah, the lead
Do you want to
sail.
attack with the lead sail?
It'd be slower than trying to unfurl the mainsail and swing the boom around.
Oh.
Is there
You
any
see-
wind?
You see Marco looks, he says, there's just a slight wind since the storm is upon us. We're almost nearing it. That should get windy very quickly.
So we'll tack into the wind, and your boys, I assume, know how to do that.
Of course we do. And we'll train your men as well, and Marco smiles. But the one thing I need to make sure is that this Dev character can sail as well. I don't know about him, but we should at least give your metal friend a try. If he is a sailor, at least, he might know a thing or two. We need to have an extra option in case your friend does go crazy and try to kill someone, like you've all tried warning me already. I mean, there's a reason why he's being held captive, right?
I mean, that's all of us. We're all kind of like that. It's just he's worse than some and better than others. It's there's a balance, Don't worry about it. You won't die yet.
We're all a little loony.
Yeah. So I turn to Jack. Jack, what do you do when you tack into the wind trying to leave a place?
Eric doesn't know.
Jack
Does-
gives a proper answer.
Does
Yeah.
Jack know?
I assumed that Jack would know.
Jack, roll a history check.
A history check?
History.
I'm proficient.
Ooh. Lore vehicles, please. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm literally.
Oh no, I know. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just
Roll with
saying random shit.
advantage.
A history check? I have no history.
Roll knowledge then,
12.
with advantage.
14.
You do know the answer to that.
You zigzag into the wind. You can sail into a headwind.
And
You would zigzag into the wind.
you see that with
Of
great confidence
course.
and no waiting or hesitation whatsoever. And you also know with the help of the oars you can get out of this bay quite easily. With a bigger crew you could actually do more, but you could tell that you guys could definitely get around at least with this ship. It is quite large for the small size you have of a crew.
All right, Jack, you have the helm. I look at the other guy that's the silver scale that was up there freaking out.
Marco, as he's
Marco, yeah.
his finger nervously. Marco looks over at Rask and is looking over at you, and he says, "Raise the anchor. Let us give your friend a try. If he does have experience, we should at least give him an honest go."
Well, make sure your men are swinging the sail the right way. You don't want to go knocking people off the deck. And then...
I'll take care of the sails with your crew. My crew will still keep paddling.
All right.
And he's going to look to the one-armed Kenku, the old drunk, and Coraline. And he says, "All right, you three, you're with me. We're going to be moving the sails." And he looks at Vree. "You as well. Come on." And Vree just shakes her head. "I don't work for you. You'll be working to survive if you don't help." And she just shakes her head. "Well, fine then. It's captain's wishes then. Captain Scritch, you should put her in the brig." And Vree just kind of looks at you, Scritch, and just waits for your answer.
It's not like anyone trusts the captain, anyways.
And she smiles at you, and Marco just kind of was waiting for you to say something noble or epic, and just is disappointed. Scritch, everybody should be
Rask is
helping.
going to cut in and say, "I will raise the anchor, and Rask will help."
Thank you, Rask. You cease to amaze and astound me. He smiles as he puts his hand on your shoulder. "I'm glad you're here. You have reasonable sense." And as you guys are getting ready to prepare the ship and the anchor is being raised, Jack, you're going to start taking the ship out, and you actually have no problem doing that. You're doing actually a
sail
perfectly
the
good job.
shit out of the ship.
You're getting the ship out of the water.
Out of the water? Are we flying?
Not out of the water, out of the docks.
Oh,
Yeah,
God!
fine.
What have I done?
That's how good of a sailor you are. You could just
It's a Pegasus ship.
you do on it and fly. But Ivan and Bashir, you guys are actually down below now. You're on the third deck, right in the luxury or the officers' quarters, and you're about to walk into another storage area.
Grab my stuff first.
Okay, you grab your things. And Bashir's waiting for you in that time, basically. I'd say so. You're already caught up with him.
Okay. So what room? What one of these rooms is he in?
The ship came with a brig already installed on it. Bashir thought the best place for Dev. It is also where Bashir is keeping our... is he one-armed or one-legged? I can't remember which limb we took from the pirate.
Leg.
Leg? Okay.
Yeah.
It is also where Bashir placed the one-legged man that was left over from our attackers.
Oh, really? Is that going to be fine? You think he's going to be okay?
Before we enter this area, Bashir will just look over at Ivan. Bashir does not really care for the man's welfare, but if he still lives, he may have gained information on Dev.
All right, Bashir, you walk up to this door and you notice that it's locked, and you use one of the many keys on your key ring. You're basically a janitor at this point. You just jingle when you walk. You unlock the door, and as you do, the Highlander is sitting in the chair eating an apple, and he kind of looks over at you, and he stands up. "Quartermaster Bashir, it's good to see you, friend."
Bashir will nod at him. We are all out from port. We need our navigator.
Lord Ivan, he tips his hat.
I'll just kind of give him like a little pat, kind of a thing.
As you walk up, Julia is going to look at both of you and kind of roll her eyes. He has not stopped talking.
Oh, I could imagine.
I haven't heard anything from our friend, but he has literally not stopped talking.
Oh, God.
First he sang, then he just kept talking. And talking. And talking. And Julia just is so tired, you can see she's had enough of it. I need sleep. If Lord Bashir, if the Highlander can take over my duties for the time being, may I get 6 hours of sleep, please?
Bashir, you're just going to nudge him. You may have 8 hours of sleep, and the Highlander will accompany us to the top deck. We are on our way from port.
And she's going to smile at you. Bless the heavens. Bless you. And she's going to walk away and bow to both you and Ivan. She looks to the Highlander. Do not take your eyes off him. He nods as he's going to reach for his axe in the corner and smile. I hope he squirms. I like when they put up a fight. And he smiles very eagerly. You guys approach the door, and you now hear very clear talking of Dev going, so I do enjoy a good bread, but I prefer salted pork over amongst anything, and would prefer it with some sort of mustard or a pickled sauce of some sort. It is quite delicious, actually. If I don't suggest anything else, a good pumpkin pie is also good whenever you go there. What else is good there?
I'll go up and knock on the door.
You knock on the door. Who is it? Hold on, friend. Don't speak. Hold on. My friend won't stop talking. Hold on, friend. You have to stop talking. We have company. Be polite. Oh, he's so promiscuous. Go on.
Oh, Dev, it's your friend Ivan and Bashir here too.
Lord Ivan and Quartermaster Bashir, it is an honor to have you here. I felt the ship moving a bit. I'm sure we're on the move, or do you need my assistance? Or
Actually, yes. Yeah, your assistance would be much appreciated.
Of course, I thought so. I was wondering. Now, my friend and I, we're busy at the moment. Give me one moment. Let me just say my goodbyes. Now, you just take care. Don't move, and just stay right where you are. And he's going to. You hear him stand up and brush his hands off. We've had a wonderful night together. If you could just unlock the door and let me out now, I'd be happy to help you.
Bashir's going to look back at the Highlander and just sort of like motion for him to be ready in case something happens.
The Highlander is going to wield, instead of his great axe, he's going to wield 2 hand axes and be prepared.
And Bashir will, I guess, sort of like reach like up on his tiptoes to unlock the door. And then he's going to look through as he opens the door. Obviously, Dev's going to be right there, but how is the other guy looking?
What?
How is the other guy in the room looking?
Do you open the door?
Yeah, he would have opened the door a bit and tried to look past them.
The door, you see that the gentleman has bashed his face against the wall so many times that he died. Hold on, friend. He just won't stop talking. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Bashir, Ivan, this is my friend, if you haven't met him yet. Bashir's met him. He introduced us, actually. We've been the best of roommates. He just won't stop talking. I was telling him about the delicacies of going to Grieven, a wonderful town I know you're all from. Or familiar with, at least, for most of you.
Bashir's just going to start staring daggers at Dev. Now, Dev, if you decide to kill every person there through either annoyance or your own hands, we won't be able to help with the deity that seems to be following you.
He smiles. I was just bored, and he was my only company. I mean, you said I couldn't kill him. He technically killed himself. I tried stopping him, but I wasn't allowed to touch him. You told me that as well. Not to lay a finger on him, you said, Dev, and I listened to you, Lord Bashir. With every ounce of my heart, I tried to stop him, but I wasn't able to stop him. He really just wanted to keep bashing his face, and he went for about a good go. I mean, 4 or 5 times. He was still alive and then bled out.
Bashir's just waiting for him to stop talking and realize the line that Bashir said about the deity that's following him.
Can I roll an insight check on what Dev said?
Yeah.
14.
You could definitely tell he is not lying. Every word he said is very true. You could tell that's how this guy, he definitely killed himself from going insane. Well, anyways, we should get going. You all need my help. My roommate's quite busy, actually. He's taking care of things. You can see the blanket is going over to the other side of the wall. We're doing a lot of decorating in here, you see.
Can we just leave? Let's get out of here.
Of course. Where's Marco? I enjoyed talking with him. He won't stop talking as well.
As we're walking, Bashir's just going to look over at Dev. Tell me, Dev, why is it that you have some higher powers wishing to kill you?
There's always some sort of demon or devil after me. You see, I'm quite old, even though I don't look it. I know I look very young and beautiful. But yes, I've lived quite a long life and actually been many different planes of existence and places that many haven't even seen from the mortal realm. But it's a beautiful place. I love being here. It's the material plane's actually my favorite place to be. There's always excitement and adventure. It's always thrilling. And it seems our fate is intertwined. I mean, how is it that we've run into each other yet again? I mean, we were almost cellmates. He smiles at you.
Yeah, but Bashir was quite better at avoiding it than you, apparently.
Touche. As you guys approach on the top deck, and he's squinting out the sun, and then eventually the clouds start to blot it out. Oh, perfect, a storm. Perfect time to leave. The Bone Collectors, yes. Who would think leaving during a storm? Why not? Makes the most sense. I should take the helm, and he looks to Jack, who's standing there. Oh. Your metal can sail a ship, it seems.
Bashir's just going to look at Dev. The storm should give more wind. More wind is faster excursion, yes?
Oh, yes. Oh, totally. Especially with the waves. No problem there. If your friend can handle everything, can I just go back to my room with my roommate? We were really in the middle of something.
A friend is able to steer the ship, but not able to bring us through whatever this is. As he kind of motions towards the fact that the sails aren't down, we're spinning in a circle in the harbor. Yada yada.
Marco says, we'll just need you to direct everything. Navigate, if you will. And he's going to hand him his compass. Oh, very nice compass. Is this made of platinum? Do not lose that. It was given to me by my guild. Of course, he smiles. Very fancy, though. All right. Looks like that's northwest. We could head that direction for now. Tin Man, that way, and he's going to point a little bit more closer to the bay. But you know, Jack, that you could definitely cut around the edge of this bay.
I'm gonna cut that edge.
All right, you stay very close to shore, and you kind of cut out. And as the storm's starting to roll in, you all see thunder crowds, a bunch of people in the sky clapping and screaming. You see a lot of thunder clouds rolling in, and it just looks pretty bad. The storm actually looks very large coming from the west, and you're heading in that direction for now, but you're going to be just going true north after that time. Dev looks and he says, now, don't be afraid. The storm will be a little shaky, but everyone just hang on. I suggest we all tie lifelines from the mast. And he points over where there's a bunch of ropes that are centralized around each mast that have very, very intricate knots all over them. And then they're tied off to a coil of rope that's hooped onto a loop. He smiles and says, just in case, just a suggestion, we should tie lifelines. And others that don't need to be above deck should go below deck for their own safety. He smiles. Like you, Highlander, and the Highlander's just going to punch him in the back of the head. Ow, son of a...
How long do those lines seem to be? Obviously, they're there for that reason. I'm assuming.
Yes,
I just never trust what Dev says by nature.
Okay.
But they seem to be quite long lines, correct? Like I can still do quite a bit of work.
Oh yeah, they pretty much look like since there's 3 masts, each rope attached to that mast looks like they can cover a certain section, like a certain radius.
All right. I will take the center mast then.
Okay.
Tie myself off over there. And I know nothing. I'm just going to try to take cues from others. I know nothing about sailing.
Okay.
So,
Tink's gonna look to you, Raz, and she says, "I'm gonna stay up on top of the deck and help."
Raska's looking towards Marco, kind of wondering where he should go to help with the sails. Did Rask manage to pull the anchor out?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You pulled the water back up. Slowly
dragging
pulled
an
up.
anchor though on this
Yeah,
one.
right.
Well, no, I meant like I don't know if it's like an actual like crank that he had to pull. Like
No, this one's
manually.
actually very nice. It has an automatic lever.
Wow, so
Like, pulley
lazy.
system. Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding, but yeah. So
It's a
Rask is
fancy
gonna
boat.
look to Marco.
Marco says, "Everyone, help with the main sail."
Rask is gonna jog over and kind of pull Tink with him.
He's going to look over to Master Rubik. Master Rubik, would you mind taking the front?
Sure.
Lead the bow if you could, and keep an eye out for anything if we run a mess.
Bashir is going to like skitter up to Marco. Bashir wishes to know where he can help.
If you wish, go with Master Rubik if anything. More eyes could help. I'm going to go to the back of the ship and keep an eye on things as well, and keep that mast intact. Just shout if you see anything at all. We need to all communicate with one another. That's our job, and we need to make sure Dev and Jack understand what we're saying.
What?
Said we need to make sure. No.
What?
So everybody starts kind of running to their positions, and people are starting to unravel ropes, and you can see Marco's kind of giving orders and kind of telling people what to do as well. And he says, Master Rubik, you seem to know a thing or two of boats as well. Don't be afraid to tell anyone who's shy. And he kind of smiles at you.
Is Bashir right next to me?
Bashir is next.
Yeah.
He's right across the stairwell. He's slowly walking over and like watching you lock eyes with him.
I like wave to the guy who's yelling at me, and I turn to Bashir and be like, I like through my grimace, I say, I know this boat. If it sinks, it makes a nice grave.
Bashir knows that boats stay on top of water, and when they are not, that is a bad thing.
Or a good thing, because then it's over.
Yeah, Bashir does not mind. Bashir will always be on top of the water if need be.
Rask is just gonna look at the two that are talking and be very confused because he doesn't actually know what to do.
Same. Ivan's in that boat.
No, you're on a ship.
Put him.
It's an inverse bathtub, guys. We're just on an inverse bathtub.
As long as we're displacing more water than the weight of our boat, it's okay. At the point when that changes, is that when we're in trouble.
Right. But Rask is gonna kind of look for directions, maybe like any cues from anyone else. Otherwise, can Rask intuitively know what to do?
Not to drop the goddamn anchor.
For the most part, you're just kind of going about it. It's just you're just kind of being told what to do. There's not really going to be any crazy direction or roles for the most part as you're traveling. There's nothing like that, and for that, it's just be a lot of downtime for you guys.
Okay.
But with the storm, it's going to be pretty much just keeping an eye on things, and you will need to make actions at certain points for. Depending on the situation, if they're being attacked or if things are falling off or someone might fall off, you might lose a oar.
Leave them.
Might lose a oar. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, pretty much from here on out, it's basically based on your crew size, morale, and other things like that. That'll attribute. We'll actually go over that more. This is just really quick. We'll go over that more this week with everybody, how ship rules work and how combat and everything. We'll go over that. That's actually something Jay, since he's the captain of the ship, Scritch is the captain, he'll actually have to get the stats of the ship, and he'll get some other information on how that's run, and he'll be able to give certain orders, and you guys will be able to help him during turns and actions like that. So when we go on further, so there'll be a couple things that'll change. We'll see if we like them and go on from there. But for the most part, we can just adapt to kind of how they've done it in 5th edition, which is a little bit more simplified and way more detailed, which I like it. So we'll see how everybody else likes it. But we'll start that next week. But for now, you guys are just going to be taking it easy for the most part and having downtime through the storm. But But right now it is very stormy. It's very bad. You guys have set sail. You're out of the bay. You are leaving Ulala, finally out to the ocean.
We've actually
Hot
gotten in the
damn.
boat and left.
Hot damn.
After
Now
6
seeing
sessions.
the shores of Saldine, after six sessions.
Oh, it's
You
been
see
more
the
than that.
shores.
Oh yeah, it's probably more.
Yeah, I would say so. I think almost 10.
God.
But you can see the shores of Saldine now from afar as you're a couple miles out, and you can just hear the tambourine and rain and thunder and flashes of light appear everywhere as the storm is getting quite heavy now. But you guys are sailing very easily through the water. This ship is very nice. It seems that it takes on storms quite well. Jack, you're actually very impressed with how the ship sails. It's unlike any ship you've ever sailed before. You could tell whoever made this and the amount of money and funds and the craftsmanship that's gone into the ship it's a very old and powerful ship.
You've got yourself a good one, Scritch.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
You can see that Scritch's head is keeping you guys completely dry, by the way, as well. It's a giant umbrella. Dev has even moved underneath here, and he's sharing the other side of the hat, and he's kind of standing next to you, Jack, and Scritch, and he's smiling. So, it seems you're very good at sailing a ship, as he kind of shouts to you, Jack.
Yeah, I've had a few years of practice.
Well, I'm quite impressed. If you need any assistance, just let me know. I believe we could be the best of friends, he smiles at you.
Ooh.
Where is Dev standing?
Standing right next to Jack up here, and between Jack and the Highlander.
How far is
The
that?
Highlander has his great axe right behind his back. You are way in the front of the ship, pretty far, so you can't really even hear any of this. It is very loud. The storm is blowing. There's wind, rain. You and Bashir are way over here. It's
This whole time, like, is Rubik's kind of been inactive, like, just like standing watching everybody. Like, I'm just searching for like the weak link, like, as everybody kind of finds their places. Like, I'm looking for somebody that is like everybody's kind of having a hard time and like fucking up a little bit, but I'm looking for the person that's just like utterly failing at whatever they're trying to do.
roll me a perception check then.
Okay. Perception.
Roll me a perception. Everybody else, so Ivan, Rask, and Bashir, all three of you, roll me a performance check, basically to see how well you do on your duties.
A performance check.
Performance.
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry.
Performance?
Damn.
Strength.
Okay.
Oh, God. No, can you do
Oh, God.
performance?
Please. No, performance. No, you guys can act out how you're doing. You guys are just minding all the chores.
I mean, I can mime, but
Yeah, you guys are just the perfect mimes. No, it is a strength check for everybody for using ropes.
Okay, 14.
15.
You said strength again?
Correct, Master Bashir. Quarter Master Bashir, sorry.
Monsieur Bashir.
7.
Oof.
I got 13 on perception.
Okay.
Wait. Oh yeah, you did.
You can see that everybody's doing quite well. The only person that seems to be having a hard time is Tink and Beekman, who Beekman's not really helping with anything, but playing his tambourine and trying to lift up the morale and spirits of everybody. Come on now! You can do it! And he's just kind of jamming on his tambourine with his one hand. And he says, pull! And he jingles his tambourine. Pull! Pull!
Is that someone's keys?
Don't worry about it, Bashir. Pull!
Amazing.
Bashir seems to be slacking as he points to him, Rubik.
Oh, you better go help. Just like, oh no, it looks like your tambourine is falling overboard.
Bashir would look back at the. Gosh, you just said his name and I've already forgotten it.
Beekman.
Beekman, yes. He'd look back at Beekman and sort of yell over the storm. Bashir thought you were going to stay in the crow's nest and help us from there.
Hey! He's going to play his tambourine and start climbing up to the crow's nest. He climbs past Tink, which Rubik, you see that Tink's still the only one having a hard time. As Rask is owning the rope and tying off knots, Tink has no idea, and you can see she's actually just fumbling with the rope and kind of just waiting for the storm to pass. Looks like she's just very scared.
Yeah, I go over and do whatever she's trying to do. I like deliberately do like, you know, around the tree, through the hole, back around the tree, and through the hole came from. Like it's just like tying knots basics 101 with like not like I'm not talking to Tink. I'm just like doing the motions like really deliberately, so I'm not trying to like make her feel like she's an idiot.
She's gonna try to follow your lead.
Do you want that to be a check on my part or
Yeah, roll persuasion.
persuasion?
Hmm.
Persuasion. Sure, I'm good at that.
Rolled
too.
very badly, so you actually might have a
Really-
good chance at this.
Rubik's just really good at this.
Persuade that rope.
Oh, wow.
You persuade the
God
shit
damn.
out of her.
Tink,
Persuade that rope into knots.
Rubik just walks up. Do what I say, rope.
so quickly and fast, she actually mimics every movement and ties it perfectly. And when she does, she looks at you and just hugs you.
I teach her a couple like non-standard knots, like a couple like that you would find on like basically essentially like lashings for like the siege equipment.
Rask, you actually see this too as well, and you're learning a couple knots as Rubik is just astounding you with his knot knowledge.
Man, Rask is just gonna blink a couple more times, and then I'm assuming that everyone has the oilskins and stuff that I provided, right?
Correct.
Okay, so they're not being drenched by the rain.
No,
At least
everybody
not.
looks pretty good. Everybody looks pretty dry.
Okay.
Rubik doesn't have shit on.
Rubik, besides
Open
Rubik, actually
open to the environment.
clean now.
Rubik's fine with
Rubik
that.
actually looks pretty clean now from everything, from all the blood, the dried
Oh,
up
yeah.
blood and dirt he had on him. He looks actually very clean from the rain and the storm. As you see, waves are kind of like hitting up on the top of the deck and hitting Rubik, but you see Rubik doesn't even move. He just the wave just breaks around him.
I do the shower commercial hair flip.
Yeah, and he's just got long, curly hair, his big burly beard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect.
God. What next?
Marco just says, "Stay at your posts. The rest of you can settle down below deck if you need to. We only need 2 people on each mast." The drunk guy looks over to you, Ivan. He's actually helping you with the rope as he's holding one end of the rope and holding your hand. Do you have any alcohol on you?
No.
I'll trade you some money for alcohol.
I don't think you should be drinking.
I'm already drunk. I need more.
Why are you
though.
drinking? Why are you doing this work? You're gonna overboard and you're gonna drown.
Shh. No, I'm tied off. See, and you see that he's not tied off. All he has actually around him, what looks to be, is just a shirt that's tied around his waist. Yeah, I'm tied off. I'm fine. Blyven, listen to me, Blyven. I want some alcohol, and you can help me. You're noble, right? You probably have fancy wines.
No, just go.
Blyven, Ivan. He just starts laughing. You're like my best friend now. You really helped me out back there. You saved my life, and I think you've got some good booze. Let's be friends.
What are you talking? Go under deck. Just go.
All right,
get some
I'll
sleep.
meet you in the kitchen, Blyven.
Yes, go get some kitchen. Yep,
And he's just
5.
gonna head down below deck. You actually see he just kind of tumbles down below the stairs, and Dev says "Bravo" as he thinks he's just putting on a show.
I'm gonna look around for anybody else. Do I see anybody near
You
me?
look over and you actually see Coraline, and she waves down. She says, "Go. You can head down below deck. I'll take care of this side."
Are you sure we don't need anybody else up here?
I'm fine. I love rain. She smiles.
I'll head below deck then.
All right.
I want to gather Masuma.
Okay. You see Masuma is just kind of walking around like on top of the deck, actually enjoying it because she can move around quite easily now that there's a good chunk of water on top of the deck. As she's skating around, you just kind of stop her, and she just hides inside of her shell, and you kind of lug her down the stairs slowly, almost like a small armchair at this point.
I need to find something. I mean, I could cast
You need to
reduce.
build her a set of wheels.
Reduce doesn't last super duper
Turtle
long.
skateboard. Cowabunga.
I know, right?
So you see Ivan and Masuma disappear. The rest of you are on the other side. What would you like to do, Rubik and Rask? Rask, you're still learning knots, but Rubik, you hear Marco say this, and you can see that Beekman's up in the crow's nest now, but you and Tink and Rask are still over there, and only really need one person there. So
He's getting a shower. And
Tink looks over and she says, "Well, I can go down below deck. Rask, you want to come with, or do you want to stay up here?"
You go down below. Rask will stay up.
Are you sure?
Rask just kind of looks at her, and then the side eyelid flicks across.
All right. And she's gonna start walking down below deck. Thanks for teaching me things, Papa Rubik. And she's gonna walk down below deck.
Papa?
Rubik pauses in whatever he's doing for a second and doesn't just like what the fuck. And then
Coraline
then
looks at that too, and then thinks dwarf plus what question mark equals no.
Invisible question mark.
Tries not to think into it too much, but then looks away and tries not to pretend that she was eavesdropping.
Image of Rubik, image of Ivan, image of Tink.
Well, if you wanted to do like a metagame lore drop, gnomes are a halfling species between dwarves and elves, and halflings, like hobbits, are between dwarves and humans.
True. Well, in 5th edition, they're also made. They're just kind of made at a certain point. Like
Factories.
Out of gems. They say out of gems from the earth. But there's many different lores.
Mommy, where do babies come from? We mine them from the ground.
God. Alright. Rask is just gonna like look at Rubik again and then just say Papa Rubik should go down below.
I trip Rask.
Excuse me.
I like, if there's like a rope on the ground, I kind of like, I do it like just all in one motion and like turn away.
All right, so you try to walk over and take a rope and just pull it and try to trip Rask. I will say I will just say do a basic trip attempt. So
sure, it's contested.
Yeah.
It's basically a shove attack.
Yeah, so strength versus strength, or well, Rask, you can use athletics or acrobatics.
Either, yeah. I'm not raging, so I just do.
I'm not raging, just a fine point. I love that. Looks like I add
2-second range.
Oh gosh.
What is it? Athletics? Yeah, athletics.
You are correct.
Oh shoot, Rask.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Rask is good at athletics.
Rask actually, when you try to pull the rope, Rask just steps on it with like moves his foot slightly, steps on the rope, and it doesn't go anywhere. And you just stubbornly drop it and walk away. I'm assuming, Rubik.
Eldritch, no, just
You're gonna Eldritch blast me? Is that what?
It turned into a funny tripping attempt, and then into
how
a
the tables have turned. Oh,
right,
no.
bullshit is freedom, mutiny.
Yeah.
It's not even like 2 hours into
Yeah,
the training, and people already tried to shove each other off.
But yeah, so you guys,
I just stand there awkwardly, looking at Rask like he didn't go down, and I'm just like.
And Rask is just looking at Rubik, wondering why he's tugging on the rope.
Matilda comes up and just starts rubbing up against you, Rask, as well as it's all going out at the same time.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Rask is just gonna like get shoved forward slightly, so he's gonna stumble, and then he's just gonna look at Rubik. Rubik, can you take Matilda down below too?
Pull up my survival knife. Happy to.
You see Vreach puts up her fist. Yeah, kill the boars.
Didn't ask you.
She hisses at you. I didn't ask you.
Rask is not asking. Both of you go down below.
Who even asked the question? She shouts.
Rask
Can
is
we-
very confused.
She's a barbarian. She's very, very blunt. Like, so she's very confused as well. This is a very confusing conversation.
Maybe if you want to kill
Rask-
somebody,
I'll kill a boar before you do, and she pulls out her sword.
that's all you can kill. A boar.
Yeah, Rask was about to say, "Is this sarcasm?" But then I'm just like, no.
I'll kill you after I kill the boars.
Why not first?
She actually starts heading up the stairs, and you see this boar instantly gets up, moves to the other side of the deck,
Uh,
and she's gonna walk over to you, Rubik, and she says, "Do you want to fight, little man?"
Why? Is there someone big and strong around here?
Rask is going to step in and just persuade both of them to go back downstairs and not fight on the deck so that he doesn't have to go swimming after them if someone gets shoved off.
How do you persuade them?
Check.
I don't have to, actually. We've been talking for more than a minute, right?
Oh, son of a bitch! I have to roll a DC check
Yeah.
versus.
That's a good question. Let me find it.
I think it's a.
That was well
charisma
done,
saving
Rask.
throw
Yeah, I think so.
versus something near DC.
Contested but no, I make a charisma persuasion check against your wisdom insight check.
Okay. Oh, it's a contested roll. Oh shit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, nice.
Oh, son of a bitch.
All the way.
Plus 2. Goddamn.
Bashir, the sarcasm.
10.
Well, I have a plus 10, so 26.
Rask is just tearing it up. Double 26.
So what? I'm under like a charm effect, essentially.
Yeah, you're under a charm effect, and I get you to go downstairs and take Matilda and the other boar with you.
Crushing it, Rask.
All right, Rubik, you are asked to do this by Rask. And Rask
I just.
Please. That's the only. That's the only thing.
I take
charm.
the casks of bacon downstairs.
You just kind of summon them as you call them casks of bacon, and Bree says, "That's right, small dwarf. Keep moving."
You too, Vree.
What? What did I do wrong? I've been keeping watch of the ship while this big loudmouth dwarf just does nothing.
Are you going to help with the masts?
I don't need to help. I'm just here to fight.
Then
she's
go
gonna do
down
nothing.
and fight verbally, because I don't want to have to go swimming after people falling off the ship.
She just kind of snarls at you as well and just heads downstairs. Fine.
Oh, Rask, you're such a good friend sending someone down here for me to fight.
It's fine. Rask
Rubik is
doesn't care at
the
this
other way
point.
to
Rask
lower
is
down
just a boy.
the boars.
Until somebody gets in through the side of the ship, and then anyway.
Okay, is it just going to be like a hole in the side of the ship that's somebody's shape?
Like a skipping stone across out the water.
Jack, roll me a perception check.
You gotta test the catapult somehow.
How much HP do the walls of the ship have?
How much
You're not
do
too
you-
sure. You'd have to check them out for a little bit and do some studying.
It's
Maybe
not-
take,
it's not
maybe take a
stone
weapon
either.
to the side of it just to see how durable they are.
Maybe hit him with the barbarian.
Oh no, Captain Jack Sparrow.
This is gonna
Captain
hurt.
Jack. So, oh boy. So
Can I use an inspiration point?
you can use an inspiration point. Well done,
Yay.
sir.
No, you should just fucking let it happen. We need a new boat.
Oh, come
No!
Meant to be?
Oh!
You know what?
on!
I
no,
actually.
no. This is a one. One after.
No. I'm gonna let.
Sink
Hey,
the motherfucking ship.
hold on. I'm not gonna stick Jesus. Okay. Now hold on. Before anything else happens, I will. I mean, it is fate. The one is rolled. It's gonna happen. But what we're gonna do is we're actually going to end there for tonight because I think that is a good drop off.
Cliffhanger!
We did well on this one, and I think Jack. It's gonna be nice because Jack's wedding is actually going to be next
Yep,
week,
next
so we won't be able to play. So it's actually
No.
gonna be longer of a one to sit on. So everybody enjoy that, and then we'll be playing the week after that. So I am your DM and your host tonight. I am Wolfgang. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Please stick around and vote for your favorite player. or your favorite 2 players, if you could actually. That would be greatly appreciated. They're going to get obviously a wonderful reward from their DM, and it's from all their hard work of role playing. Whether they did good role playing, made you laugh, you enjoyed their character overall, the way they talked. If anything really just popped out, vote for them. But I will let the streamers go off and say their goodbyes and get ready, and then I will let you know who's the winner or who the top 2 are, first place and second place, and we will go from there. Thank you very much. Round Stump out.
Yeah. So we won't be playing next Sunday, but we will be picking up next Sunday.